Hey there, guys, Darker. Welcome back from some more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, we had a giant fight against Berserker, and that's over now. So, yeah, I think everything with Ilya and Berserker is over. Although that was, not necessarily dissatisfying. I just don't really remember it just didn't leave much of an beating a Berserker did. But what why am I being buzzed at? Oh, I'm being sent a post on Instagram. Okay. Um, I don't remember what happened to Ilya. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely don't. It's been like a week or two since I last recorded, so I'm a little out of it. But let's just get into it. I wake up. Astute observation, Shiro. We escaped Ilya's forest and came back to this house yesterday afternoon. Tosaka went back to her room, saying that saying that the wound in her stomach. Iris, what are you doing? My dog's just trying to is touching cords. Tosaka went back to her room, saying that the wound in her stomach was hurting. I also wanted to go to sleep since my headache was still around. It must also have been because I carried something heavy all the way here. When I got to my room and lay down, I couldn't even get back up. Saber was the only one unhurt, so Tosaka and I went to sleep, letting her watch over the house, and I've slept half the day, huh? At least it seems my headache is gone now. I'm relieved. The thing with Berserker, my headache that started when I duplicated Saber's sword was terrible. If that headache continued, my head would have broken before my body did. Wait. Huh? Saber is sitting Japanese style beside my futon. Saber? Why the sad face? Did something happen while I was asleep? No, I just had a dream. No, it is nothing important. Let us eat breakfast, Shiro. It is almost time to get up. Saber gets up and leaves the room quietly. That's really awkward. I don't know why Saber's acting so weird. I don't know, but I guess she was nursing me since she was sitting by my futon. Don't show the full image. Oh, guys, I need to talk about this. This is the funniest thing ever. So I put up the Henty episode recently, and it has 92 views, or 90, it's in the 90s. Last time I checked was a few days ago, and it was at 92 views. And it has likes on the video, even though I cut out all the Henty stuff. But I just think it's hilarious that it's the first couple have over 100, and then, after that, they all range from anywhere from 5 to 30, something like that. But then the Henty one comes and just triples the views. And that's just so funny to me. As soon as I think so, I recall the scene I really shouldn't remember. No, what am I thinking? Don't think about it. I shake my head and clear the thoughts out of my head. I did it with Saber because I'm her master. I have to think like that or I won't be able to look at her properly. The situation was that bad, and Tosaka did it too. Hold on. This won't end if I start being conscious of Tosaka too. Stay calm. Acting normal on our way home yesterday. That should be fine. Well, no, I was just too tired yesterday, but stay calm anyways. First of all, Saber will be troubled if I act like this. Alright, I have to calm down and go make breakfast. I take a deep breath and start changing. It's 9 in the morning. Saber must be really hungry, as we haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. I guess you can't call it morning now that it's past Mother, what the? I guess it's not really morning even though it's past 9. Get out of here. I don't even get done with my morning workouts until past 9. You can't be saying that's not morning anymore. Considering Saber, I'll make a fairly large meal. Shiro, we are the only ones this morning. Should we not wake up Rin? No, they should sleep, right? It was a hard day yesterday, so there's no need to wake them up. They can eat whenever they want to if we leave their meals out. I see. Then it'll be helpful if you can start preparing soon. It is already late. I know. I feel weird, so let's go out to the dojo after the meal. What? Go to the dojo? Are you still going to continue your training? Why not? It's a daily routine, right? What's wrong, Saber? Did I say something strange? No, I selfishly thought that you were done with your training. I thought there was no reason for you to be so desperate now that Berserker's defeated. I see. When you put it like that, you may be right. Tosaka and Saber and I, our common enemy is now gone. Yeah, but to be fair, so is Tosaka's servant. She's essentially out of the war, unless she... I mean, she could kill Shiro and then take Saber, but I don't think Saber would ever agree to that. Who's even left? We have Lancer, Assassin, and Caster. And Saber, of course, so there's only 4 of us left. Huh. We cooperated because we were targeted by an enemy superior to us. That's why I trained as well. But we'll continue our training. I'm still inexperienced, and you're honest when you hold your sword. That's a big help for me when I talk to you. Well, when I say it's a help, I mean it's fun. I am honest in the dojo? You are. At least you're not hesitant. That's better for me, and I think it's relaxing for you as well. Anyways, fighting with you is my daily routine. Don't take away the few pleasures I have. I take ground beef and pork, mushroom, onion, and eggs out of the refrigerator and head to the kitchen. You know, this might be a weird thing. Like, whenever I'm writing, like, I was literally writing a scene today where characters are sitting down and eating dinner. And, like, I don't know what it is. For some reason, when I'm reading food scenes, like, scenes of people, like, eating and describing the food that they're eating, like, it's so good. Like, this might be a weird thought. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I probably have. But in the Sword Art Online... Why did I reach over? Okay, guys. In, like, out here, as I was, like, talking about it, I, like, looked over at my bookshelf, and I just reached over and grabbed one of the light novels off of the shelf, and I was just holding it up looking at it. For no reason. Look at me go. Anyways, and here, like, low-key, he has some great... I've definitely talked about this before, but whatever, it's been a long time. He has great syntax, especially when he's talking about food. At least if I'm remembering correctly, because I remember, like, being in, like, middle school, high school, and reading a couple of those, like, scenes where they were eating, and I was like, gosh darn it, now I'm hungry, and I just had lunch. But then, like, whenever it comes to me, and it's time for me to write, like, a food scene, even though, like, I enjoy reading them so much, I'm like, yeah, they just had, like, some soup, and some, you know, like, grilled chicken, and it was good. I don't actually say that, I just, like, quickly, like, here's what they're eating, don't go into too much detail about it, and then I just move on. I'm just not good at writing, like, what things taste like, you know? Anyways, let's get back to this. I'll also need breadcrumbs, alcohol, salad oil, and... in that case, I have no objections. Saber remembers something in the living room. I'm already in the kitchen, so I unfortunately couldn't hear her. Oh? I start mixing. I mix onion, breadcrumbs... Oh, dude, breadcrumbs on things. It's so good. Alcohol, eggs, and salt, and put it in with the beef and pork. I've decided to cook Japanese-style hamburger for breakfast. Rin, have you awoken? I can hear Saber's voice from the living room. Tosaka. I turn around while cooking. Morning. Sorry. Let me have some milk, Shiro. Tosaka comes over with an unhappy face and takes some milk out of the refrigerator. My head hurts from sleeping too much. Hey, you sure are putting a lot of effort into breakfast. Where did that bad mood from earlier go? Tosaka Rin's eyes gleam as soon as she turns to me. Wow, that looks good! I'm hungry, so that's really helpful. I see, but you're the one that benefits, not me. This must be what my father said. For someone to benefit, someone must lose. I've thought so for a while, but you're pretty sharp. Oh, I'm only normally witted, so prepare some for me too. Waving her hand, Tosaka returns to the living room. With a glass of milk in one hand, she takes position at the table. No, should I say she's really relaxing or acting like royalty? You're acting quite lazily, Rin. All the way to go... Alright, way to go, Saber. She sure is good at saying difficult things, but... Tosaka weighs off Saber's criticism lazily, like she doesn't care. Of course I'm getting lazy. Now that Berserker's gone, all that's left are Caster, Lancer, and Assassin, right? They aren't much compared to Berserker, and they can easily be fought off in Saber's present condition. I do not know. Lancer's master is still a mystery, and Assassin is not an enemy that can be defeated by ordinary methods. And we've not even met Caster yet. Don't be modest. A normal hero is an easy opponent for King Arthur, right? You were grieving because you didn't have enough magical energy, but that's solved now. There's no servant now that can match you, Saber. Saber narrows her eyes at Tosaka's words. I feel the same way. The thing Tosaka just said can't be ignored lightly. Tosaka, you knew who Saber was? Vaguely. I only confirmed it yesterday. There's only one hero who can use such a holy sword. Well, I was surprised that the legendary King Arthur is a girl, but if the real thing is in front of me, all I can do is believe it. And legends usually are conventionally altered, right? I don't know if Saber hid it or the people around her hid it, but it certainly wasn't convenient for a girl to be a king in the medieval times. Of course, they treat her as a man. Tosaka has the same tone of voice as always. Saber doesn't seem to care that much either. She rather seems to be agreeing with Tosaka's opinion, and shows no sign of denying anything. So she has clearly admitted that it's true. The hero-related sword is chosen for the servant Saber. From that perspective, she is certainly the best Saber there could be. The great hero of England. The bearer of the holy sword that everybody even in this distant country has heard of. But if that's the case, then what? The end of the legend of King Arthur ends with the king's death. No, they are still human even if they are heroes. It's only natural for their last moment to end in death, but no hero dies normally. King Arthur was no exception. I remember that the end of King Arthur was in a war. The Great Battle of Camelot. Having unified Britain with no outside enemies to defeat, King Arthur faced an unexpected enemy in the end. The enemy was her own army that she protected. Because of a betrayal by the ones she's trusted, King Arthur was attacked by the knights she had fought with, and it is said that the king had to defeat them. King Arthur succeeded in defeating the enemy leader, but took a fatal wound in the process, and entrusted her only surviving knight, Sir Bedivere, with the return of the Holy Sword. Go past this bloody battlefield and the hill. There should be a lake there. Throw this sword into that lake. But Bedivere could not follow the order. Fearing the loss of the sword, Bedivere gave a false report, the first and second time, saying that he had thrown the sword into the lake. Every time, King Arthur would order Bedivere to throw the sword away, and the order was followed on the third trip. It is said that King Arthur died after ascertaining that the holy sword had been returned. But anyway, what are you gonna do now, Shiro? And then Tosaka suddenly glares at me. About what now? About that dangerous child who's asleep right now? You're the one who brought her here, even though I told you to leave her behind. I would like to comment on that as well. Even though she has lost Berserker, Iliasville is a dangerous master. It is not a wise decision to protect her now. Yeah, you can just leave her in Kirei's care. The two judged this a good time and glare at me together. That's right, Ilia fainted after Berserker disappeared. I couldn't just leave her be, since she showed no sign of waking up, so I brought her here. Tosaka and Saber objected, so I was the one who carried her. Master who loses their servant has to run away, or go to the church for protection before they're killed by other masters. Tosaka says we should let Kotomine take care of her, but I'm letting her sleep in a room here, since I don't think he would take very good care of her. Shiro, your thoughts are honorable, but it's dangerous to associate yourself with Iliasville. You still have time. You must let the church take care of her or remove her command spell. Saber glares at me. She's serious. Convincing her will be really difficult. What? We couldn't just leave her? Ilia is still a child, and she was acting strangely too. And I'd feel sorry for just leaving her in Kotomine's care. Feel sorry? How can you say that after what she did to us? I agree. You feel too much empathy for Iliasville. She tried to kill you many times. The two are even more united now, but can't let me talk them out of it. Ilia was certainly our enemy, but she didn't have any malice. Ilia won't do that sort of thing again if there's someone there to tell her what's right. I think I said this at the beginning. I'm not fighting to kill other masters, I'm just fighting to end this war. I know that, but... Saber doesn't agree, but her voice softens. But... I see. Then you're saying you'll forgive everything Iliasville did. I'm sure you know that she's attacked other masters as well. She might have killed several masters already. You're saying you'll save her in spite of that? That's right. Ilia admitted it. She killed Shinji. Shinji used Rider to try and kill the students at school. If those were his intentions as a master, I guess his death couldn't be helped. But still, Shinji is a friend I've known for years, and thinking about his sister, Sakura, can't forgive everything Ilya did. But then there would be no end to it. If Ilya isn't a master, and if she can regret what she did, I think we should save her. Yeah, that's right. But Shiro, I have no intention of forgiving her for Archer. She killed my Archer. Everybody freezes. We freeze looking at each other. And... Come on, servants disappear in the end anyway. You're a failure as a master if you worry about that sort of thing. The girl under discussion who should be asleep appears. Ilyasfil. Hold on, I have no business with you two. I don't intend to fight, so you two can stop being angry. Blech. Really, I'm embarrassed as a lady. You're much older than me, but you have no modesty. Ilya shrugs her shoulders as if to show her shock. What? Saber and Tosaka get mad together. They are scary. They are scarier in a different sense. Well, I won't get angry about that either. This is no time to worry about you two. Saying that, Ilya turns to me. Is this an illusion? Ilya pinches the end of her skirt in a polite manner and bows to me respectfully. Ilya? I thank you, Master of Saber. I thank you from the bottom of your heart for your concerns towards me, who is your enemy. I stare at Ilya in surprise. Saber is silent as well, so she might not have expected it either. Tosaka is drinking milk and looking at Ilya suspiciously. And then, Ilya gets her usual smile and... Just kidding! Yeah, Shiro is my brother. She comes straight for me and hugs my neck. I choke at the surprise attack. What? Tosaka's choking on the milk she's drinking. Saber gets mad, but keeps a straight face. Get away, you impudent! Saber runs to me, but Ilya spins around behind me, using my neck as a fulcrum. Who's the impudent one? A servant is 100 years too early to give me her opinion. I have no obligation nor desire to obey you. If you have time to talk, if you have time to talk back, get away from Shiro right away. I'm not listening to you. Hey Shiro, let's do the things we did yesterday. It's called a piggyback ride, right? Ilya twirls and twirls. Saber goes around to try and catch her. This is bad. This is really bad. The two stare down doesn't end. Must be because she's watching from a distance. Tosaka wipes the milk off her mouth as if nothing is happening, and says in a disinterested manner, "It's of no concern to me, but hold die if you keep that up." Huh? The two look at my face in surprise. Yes, my neck is being choked and my life's in danger. I'm in a real pinch right now. I think that's gonna be the end. I did not expect Ilya to be living with us. I don't know what I was expecting to have happen to her, but it wasn't that. So, anyway, I guess with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, and we are back. Why? God, how? I hate OBS. OBS is like low-key trash. It's still whatever. We are back. Last time we found out Ilya's living with us now or something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's just get into it. Well, let's check the current situation. The hamburger I was making is in the refrigerator right now. First, Tosaka is the quiet one. It seems she's keeping a poker face and trying to see how things will turn out, but who knows what she's thinking on the inside. What, Shiro? Ilya's sitting next to me, and she's in a good mood for some reason. She's looking around the living room curiously, but it seems like Tosaka and Saber are none of her concern. She probably won't listen even if they talk to her. And the hardest one to deal with is... Saber, who is glaring restlessly at me and Ilya. Being restless and uneasy is totally unlike her. Because of her, I feel like I'm sitting on a cushion full of needles, so I can't let things stay like this. I don't know what will come out of this, but I have to make up my mind and escape the current situation. Let's decide. Morning will end if we keep on like this. Yeah, the conclusion is decided and the problem needs to be taken care of quickly. Isn't that right, Saber? Yes, my opinion and Rein's are the same. So all we need to do is make Shiro agree. Saber is ready to fight it out to the very end. Well, I guess it can't be helped since Ilya was the most difficult enemy for Saber. Hey, Shiro. What did Rina and Saber want to talk about? Ilya asked me innocently. Well, about what to do with you. You lost your servant, right? So we're wondering what you're going to do now. It's already decided. We have the church protect her. Or kick her back to her castle. Either way, she doesn't have the option of staying here. Do you think so too, Shiro? Ilya looks at me with emotionless eyes. But Ilya's a monster! She's actually, I mean, I know, there's the whole argument, like, she's a kid, she doesn't really know what she's doing is wrong. But she clearly takes joy, she clearly knows she's causing pain, and she clearly enjoys it, and she knows that's something that the other people don't want. I feel like the story wants me to take Ilya, because the other two are against it. But I also don't, if I was in this situation, we have to go with what I feel like I would do in this situation, I feel like that's what we should do. And I don't feel like I would want her. She should be sheltered at the church. That's the safest choice for Ilya. Then it's decided. Oh, wait, shoot! Oh my gosh, wait, no! She's gonna go spend time with Kirei! Oh. Oh, granted, I'm only saying this because I know, about Kirei. But, oh, freak, dude. Oh gosh, I feel really bad now. Maybe I should go back. I don't know, I also don't want to, like, I don't know. This is a hard decision. There aren't a lot of decisions in this game, but when there are, they're hard. Then it's decided. Well, there's never really any question. Eh? Of course, it would be ridiculous to allow Iliasfield to stay here. Shiro? She looks up at me with uneasy eyes. No, you're different, right, Shiro? Oh, this is hurting me in the heart. But it's only because of other Wrong one. Cancel. Kuritsugu used to say that girls should be protected. And most of all, I don't want to let a child suffer. No, I think Ilya should stay here. The Holy Grail War isn't over yet. I want to shelter her till the end. Yeah, if you say that, I'll stay here for you. Ilya, it hurts! It hurts! Ilya hugs me, but I get her off me. Well, there's no need to do that myself as Saber does it for me. Hey, why do you keep getting in my way? You have some grudge against me? Of course! I'll not forget what you did to Shiro. You too, Shiro. Do you not realize that sheltering Iliasfield will only bring you harm? Hey, why is that? Ilya doesn't have her servant now, so she can't be dangerous. She's not a master anymore. More importantly, what will you do if she gets attacked by another master after you abandoned her? Ilya's life would be in danger, and the other masters would gain power. That is true, but... Saber hesitates. Whatever she may say, Saber does understand that Ilya would be attacked by other masters if she was left alone. Then it's my turn next. I'm sorry to say this right after you made Saber surrender, but I'm not convinced yet. Look, Shiro, she's still a master. I told you the master is a master until they lose their command spell, even if they happen to lose their servant. And thus, drinking tea gracefully, Tosaka interrupts the conversation. Huh? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that one can make a contract with as many servants as they like, as long as they have a command spell. If there is a stray servant that doesn't have a master, and if a master has enough magical energy capacity to take in that stray servant, He can make a contract with as many servants as he wants. What's with that? And a superior master can form a contract with as many servants as he wants? Not however many he wants. 7 is the maximum number of servants that the Holy Grail can call on. So 7 would be the maximum. Lamau. Yeah, okay. But then, even an excellent Magus wouldn't have enough magical energy to materialize more than one servant. Even if they could, that means splitting a power of 10 into 2 5s, so the abilities of the servant would decrease, and the point of forming a contract with multiple servants is defeated. I see. So I formed a contract with Saber and Berserker. Saber and Berserker would both exist sharing my magical energy, so their abilities would considerably decrease. So that means it's more efficient to choose one servant and give magical energy to. Yeah, okay. Come to think of it, you said before that servants can change their master. You were talking about this, right? Oh, you're pretty perceptive for once. As you say, that's what it means for servants that change their masters. A servant that loses their master has some time before they disappear. So if they can find a master looking for a servant and form a contract with them, they'll be back to the same as before. Yeah, so watch out for Rin, Shiro. She's still a master, so she might kill you and take Saber, or form another contract with a remaining servant. Yes, I'll say the exact same back to you, Ilya. That's not true. I won't be with another servant. My servant will always be Berserker. Hanging her head slightly, Ilya murmurs. I can understand why the two gasped. I don't know what kind of relationship Ilya and Berserker had, but I can tell that for Ilya, that servant was special. That's a surprise and a pleasant one. Ilya was cold-hearted as a master, but she still valued her partner. Oh, but I'll take Saber if Shiro loses. I won't let any master other than Shiro win. If Shiro loses, I'll win for him. Ilya says to Saber and Tosaka. Do not say such ridiculous things. I am Shiro's servant. I have no intention of being yours. Oh yeah? That's okay. I just want Shiro to win. Me winning and you protecting Shiro, it'd be the same in the end anyway. Ilya says things in a strange way. Well, I can tell she wants for me to win, but why would she want that? Then, Tosaka must have found it strange too as she starts to think. I mind. I would not approve of that. Rin, please warn Shiro about it. Huh? Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you say it again? We were objecting to protecting Ilyasville here. Oh, that. I think it's fine to keep her here. Huh? Me and Saber both, let's go. Saber freezes. I'm surprised as well, so it's only natural for the protesting Saber to freeze. Rin, are you mad? No, thinking about it, the risks are the same. They won't change whether we leave Ilya here by herself, or keep her here. Wait, if we leave Ilya by herself, keep her here, or let her be in the care of the church. No, it's actually better if other masters come after Ilya. In your current condition, you won't lose against all the other servants combined. That'll be a fast way to end the Holy Grail War, and that's what you want too, right, Saber? Well, that'll all change if you think you'll lose to the other servants. Oof, calling her out. Of course not. You should understand my current state. As long as Shiro's my master, I shall not know defeat. See? So there's no problem with protecting Ilya. And there's something I'm worried about too. Shiro's choice might not have been a really smart one. Tosaka then falls silent. Wait, did she say it might have been a smart one? Shiro's choice wouldn't have actually been a really smart... Yeah, she complimented us! Let's go! Tosaka then falls silent. Saber must have accepted that as she reluctantly moves away from Ilya. Finishing breakfast, we go out to the dojo. Tosaka is back in her room and Saber is with me. As for Ilya... Hey, are you really going to be training? She's right beside me, following me to the dojo. I thought I could play with you today, and I was looking forward to it. But Saber's here. It's cold here and it's boring. Well, it's naturally boring for Ilya. After all, training isn't a fun thing to watch. I love Saber changing in the background. Hey, let's go back to the living room. If you want to be strong, I'll help you. Taking my hand with both of hers, Ilya tries to leave the dojo. But I can't compromise on this. No, I can't, Ilya. Training is my daily routine, so I'm going to do it. I'm inexperienced as a Magus, so I have to be able to fight it a little at least. And I'll be able to protect you if I train, right? I'm the one who decided to protect you, so I have to at least do this much. Yeah, that might be true, but I don't mind not being protected by you. You're my brother, so all you have to do is be with me. Nope, my persuasion failed. Ilya pulls at my hand. Saber is watching us silently. Her stare is rather painful. You must not approve of Ilya yet. I think she's acting too bluntly. Our eyes meet. Good. I'll have Saber convince Ilya. I'm telling you no. Tell her, Saber. Training with you is our daily routine. There's nothing for me to say. It is you that brought Ilyasville here. It is your role to persuade her, and is not within my obligations. Lamau. Something's wrong. I don't know. Oh, but I pissed off my girl. I was so tempted to go back and load it, but I do think that protecting Ilya is the right option. I still think she's a monster, but they also did bring up great opinions of other masters being able to come after her and stealing her command seals. Yeah, it's worth having Saber a little mad at us, I guess. I don't know why, but it could be that she's really mad. Oh, so Saber understands. You don't have to train. There are only weak servants left, so you don't need to do this sort of thing. Come on, Shiro. Let Saber take care of the other masters so we can play outside. Whoa! I lose my balance and take a step towards the exit. Oh, my heart. Hold on, no, let go of me, Ilya. I won't listen even if you complain. I won't skip my training, and I want to keep on training. I know it's boring for you, but I like it. If you don't like it, stay in the living room. I shake her off violently. Oh. She must not have expected me to shake her off. Ilya moves away and looks at me uneasily. Crap. Even if I had to get her off me, there must have been a kinder way to do so. Sorry, Ilya, that was too rough of me. But I can't stop my training. I'm sorry to leave you alone, but can you stay in the living room for now? Ilya starts to walk away without saying anything. He walks to the entrance and stops by the wall beside it. Fine, then I'll watch from here. That's okay, right? She screams and glares at me. Well, I don't mind, but it's cold here. The living room has tea and snacks. It's fine, because I said so. I won't leave Saber and Shiro alone together. Oh. Saying something strange, Ilya looks away. Oh, okay, you can go back to the living room if you get bored. I don't understand Ilya's point. Dang, she's trying to cock-block us. But I guess things are settled. I take 2 shinais from the wall and turn to Saber. Then let's start. I may be off since it's been 3 days. Hey, Saber, you seem a bit spaced out. Are you sick or something? No, that's not it, but... Saber looks away from Ilya and shakes her head. So you're fine. Then let's start with here's your shinai. No. You can throw it to me. It'll be a problem if we carelessly get too close to me. We are training. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about, Saber? I throw her the shinai. After all, I've never gotten Saber. I've never been able to get close to her, so she doesn't need to tell me to not go near her carelessly. Saber catches the shinai awkwardly and takes an exaggeratedly deep breath. Then let us start. It'll be different from before, but try to stay calm, Shiro. Looking at Ilya, Saber says so. It's fine. I won't mind who's watching once we start. I ready my shinai and look at Saber. In front of me is a golden-haired girl with a shinai. That fixes my attention only on her. Finishing the training after 2 hours, we enter the usual break. Stopping, I place my shinai on the wall. Whew. That shows me again. You're really amazing. Nodding, I drink water from a kettle. Quenching my thirst and wiping my sweaty neck, my body finally calms down. Hey, what was your training? It's just like Shiro was getting beat on. Ilya says something unpleasant. That's wrong, Ilya. I'm getting beat on, but it was worse than before. Rather, you could say I did well today since I didn't get knocked out. I see. But is it really from your skill? You lost your balance lots of times, but it seemed like Saber was overlooking it on purpose. Ilya ponders. She's sharp. I noticed that too. I don't know whether she was showing consideration for my body, or whether she's not up to par, but either way, Saber wasn't going full strength against me. Well, she never goes full strength against me, but she still mercilessly attacked me when I showed an opening. But today, Saber lacked that. She did not perform any attacks that would have knocked me out, even though she usually does. You think so too? So Saber let me off easy today, huh? It didn't really seem that way. Saber was ready for Shinai to deliver the final blow, but she kept pulling back at the last second. I wonder what that was all about. Rather than letting you go, it seemed more like she was scared of you, or holding back. Huh? Saber would never hold anything back. If she had such compassion, I wouldn't have been hurt so much on the first day. That's right, Saber doesn't hold back during training. I could desperately concentrate on Saber because I knew that. Jeez, what's wrong, Saber? We won't be training like this. You weren't going easy on me, were you? No, I did not go easy on you. I was assuming the role of a fighter, one rank above you as always. Saber must feel today's training is strange as well. Yeah, I can't imagine you going easy on me. I could tell you were serious. Weren't you too conservative today? It's no good unless you come straight at me and smack me. Straight on. But that'll cause me to come too close to you. Our bodies might touch depending on the circumstances. We're fighting, so of course our shoulders were hit. After all, you used to tackle me away when I got in too close. Aren't you good at close-range fighting? I did that? What are you saying? Well, you did it quite often. Remember when we first trained? You drove me... Oh, all the things he's saying. Remember the first time we trained? You drove me up against the wall. When I said you were rather powerful for a girl, you said it was only natural for a swordsman. I love Ilya. You know what? Saving Ilya's the right choice. I feel like we're kindred spirits right now. She's hearing what Shiro's saying and be like, yo boy, you don't realize what you're doing. Oh. Saber's standing there dumbfounded. Saber really is acting weird today. I have no idea why. It'll be a problem if Saber's sick or something, so maybe I should talk to Tosaka about it later on. Yeah, I think... I feel like I should apologize. I feel like sometimes I get too focused on ending the episodes at the right time, but I just genuinely don't have enough time to, like, record too many if I go over. So that's why I didn't upload 3 last week, is because I just didn't have enough. So if I want to keep uploading 3, then I gotta, you know, stay on schedule, essentially. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. I can't wait to see where this is going and how... just where it's going. Because whenever this tries to be funny, for the most part, it's been so hard. But this is... this is good. I love this. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there, guys. Dark Matter, welcome back to more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, we did some, training, wink wink, with Saber. Well, Ilya watched us. And that's really all that happened. Like, we talked about, like, should Ilya stay, should Ilya not? And I was emotionally manipulated into letting the murder goblin stay. So, yeah. With that being said, let's jump into it! We resume our training, still different from how it was before. We resume, but Saber backs off only after a few matches. Is this a new training method? She might counterattack when I let my guard down. I watch Saber closely. Saber narrows her eyes seriously and takes a step towards me. Shiro, let us have lunch. Says something rather unlike her. Huh? I lower my shinai. Lunch? Is it time already? The clock says it's a bit before 12. She's right, that's it. She's right that it's time for lunch, but this is the first time Saber has suggested it. We never noticed the time when we were training in the dojo. It was routine for us to take a break and only noticed that it was lunchtime when we felt hungry and looked up at the clock. It is a reasonable proposal, so I can nod, but... No way! We're fasting! That's actually what I've been doing. I've been doing intermittent fasting and also cutting out a soda from my days. Like, I had one yesterday, but I didn't have one for the few days leading up to that. And, dieting pretty well. Been losing like around a pound a day. And start off at 280, I'm down to like 276, so, going pretty good. Back on the no soda grind today and tomorrow and Monday. That's just a little peek into my personal life. I know that we don't get too personal here on the Fate Stay Night. Let's read. Because, 99% of the time it's just me reading, as it says in the title. But, I just thought I'd let you in a little bit today. I guess if I was in this situation, I would just kind of be like, I'd probably say like, honestly, this was absolutely what I would go for. I'd be like, all right, yeah, we can have lunch, but like, are you okay? Is sort of how I'm taking this one. I don't think I would just be like, okay, absolutely, let's just ignore how we're going today. And I wouldn't say this one just because that's where, like, I said, like, if it said something like, oh, or like, are you hungry? And then there was like a fourth option that was like, are you sure you don't want to keep going? Then I would like reasonably pick like those two. But this one, I don't think anyone should ever pick. I want to ask this one. Yeah, Helia's here too, so let's have lunch early. Putting the Shinai down, I agree with Saber. And then Saber's shoulders slump in relief. She's being even more suspicious. Maybe I should at least ask why. Good, let us go to the living room then. The food you prepare is delicious, but it takes time to prepare. Is the time to prepare it a waste? Oh, then I should have made a boxed lunch every day. If I did that, it would have been easier, and there would have been no need to go to the kitchen. I was going to show my thanks by making a gorgeous lunch, but I guess it can't be helped if Saber says so. Shiro, what are you doing? Let us go to the living room. You mean lunch, right? Placing my sheet on the wall, I arranged cushions for the three of us. Yes, lunch. We will be taking a break after that, so it will be a problem unless you go to the kitchen right away. Why, there's no need to go to the living room or hurry. By the way, what's the problem? Saber suddenly stops as if she switched off. And why are you right on time today? Is there some reason to hurry? No, I'm not in a hurry. And let's take it slow if we're not in a hurry. We have plenty of time. Well, that's true, but... Saber looks around awkwardly as if not knowing what to do. But let's just go to the living room. It'll affect our later training if we do not eat lunch. I'm telling you, I've prepared it. If you have time... Oh, I'm getting a call. 1 second. Windowed. Where's the pause button? No, actually, where is the pause recording button? Whatever. Okay, and we are back. Let's see if I remember to take that out. Essentially, No, I can't clock into work, so I have to, like, write it all down. Like, we'll type it all out and just email it to my manager so then she can, like, make sure I get paid right. So yeah, that's what that was all about if I forget to take it out. I'm probably gonna, like, label the audio for this, like, Fate Stay Night 53, remember to edit at yada 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 timestamp. I'm telling you, I prepared it. If you have time, can you go to the living room and pick up the boxed lunch I prepared this morning? Huh? Boxed lunch? I nod while opening the window to let some air in. And then I hear a rumbling sound of hunger. Oh, I see. We always used to check that around the time when one of our stomachs growled. No wonder I thought it was strange. I turned to Saber. What's wrong, Saber? Is it too cold for you with the window open? We're going to eat lunch, so we'll have to ventilate the room. No, it's nothing. So the lunch is prepared in the living room. Saber runs out of the dojo. Those conservative blows and her mood right now and all. Does Saber have a fever today? At noon, we start to eat lunch. I made a proper meal this morning, so I made a boxed lunch with the leftovers. This is... I see, you have put the food from breakfast between bread. Saber admires... That's cute. That was really cute. Gosh darn it, that was adorable. God, I don't know why I'm saying gosh darn it. I just thought that was cute. Saber admires the sandwich as she eats it. As she is using a paper napkin so as to not dirty her hands, I can sense her elegance even with this kind of lunch. Yeah, I thought so this morning as well. The sheriff sure is a good cook. I think eating good food is a good thing. On the other hand, Ilya is stuffing in her sandwich, full of energy. I don't know if she's out of control or just copying me. Ilya usually seems more well-mannered than Saber. That doesn't seem to apply to dining manners. Hold on, Ilyasville. Your hair will get dirty if you stay like that. Oh, my heart can't handle the cuteness. Saber places a napkin against Ilya's cheek. Something like butter must have gone on there as Saber wipes around Ilya's mouth. Thanks, but what is this? You don't like me, right? Yes, I'm still on guard right now, but I understand people's hearts as well. Sure. Sure, Chief, let's go with that one. You bear no hostility, and Shiro has accepted you as a guest, so I use minimal manners and... And? Your hair is beautiful. Seeing it get dirtied in front of me is somewhat painful. That must have been from the bottom of her heart. Saber's voice is the same as always. It doesn't sound like she's thinking about Ilya. Ilya stares at Saber, and I realized Ilya's never directly looked at Saber until now. For Ilya, Saber was just my servant, and not someone that deserved to be treated as a human. Shiro is mine, even if you say that sort of thing. Well, I can consider you as well. I can make Shiro win, but I can't protect him. Ilya says so while shrugging her shoulders and eats her sandwich. You do not need to tell me that. It is a servant's duty to be their master's shield. Saber answers Ilya plainly. The conversation is the same as before, but their voices sound more gentle. Tosaka comes while relaxing after lunch. Shiro, are you here? I'm ready, so come by as soon as you can. She addresses me concisely and returns to the outbuilding. Oh, I forgot about that. I was going to have Tosaka teach me magic this afternoon. As I have never had a proper teacher, Tosaka's magic lectures are more than helpful. Sure, yeah. I don't know, I don't enjoy the magic training. It just feels like exposition. Whereas, like, I'm way more into the character stuff that always happens when these two train, so like that's way up more my alley. I do think that's something that, like, Nasu hasn't been great at in this visual novel, is, like, exposition's always that hard thing, because some people are like, absolutely never zero exposition ever. If it can't be brought up, like uber, like, I don't want to say naturally, because, like, you know, teaching is natural, but if it can't be brought up in, like, some ulterior way that doesn't feel like exposition, then it's bad. I'm like, well, no. The main problem exposition scenes tend to have is it's literally just characters just barfing information out, and it's just never entertaining. But if you can exposit things in a fun way, like, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is people consider, and fairly so, Want to Build a Snowman an exposition song, but it's exposition done in a fun way to most people. Like, most people, like, don't have really any problems with that scene, and I've never heard anyone say that it's boring, regardless of what you think of the movie, you know? But that's just, like, an example. Like, songs and musicals are a good way of expositing things in a more entertaining way than just having a character go, like, I guess just continuing to use the Frozen example. It's a lot more entertaining than, like Anna just sitting there going, man, my sister Elsa sure has left me alone for a very long time. I've gotten so bored. Let me tell you all the weird things I did to deal with that boredom and loneliness. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more entertaining than that, so I feel like, that's something that just Nasu, even still now, kind of needs to work on, if I'm gonna be honest. You know, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and I just think his exposition scenes are his weakness, and that's something that I also try to figure out is, something like I talked about, like, with one of my film writing teachers was we were just talking about exposition one day, and when I brought this idea up because he used to be like someone who was like, yeah, no, you shouldn't ever like just have like a straight exposition scene, and I just raised my hand and said, well, what does it matter if it's just like a straight exposition scene as long as it's entertaining? Isn't that enough? And then that actually got like the whole class on a conversation of like, yeah, does it matter if characters are just saying information at each other if you can find a way to convey it in an interesting and entertaining way? I feel like that's just like, again, one of Nasu's weaknesses, and it's something that I'm trying to get better at too, cause I don't really talk about my writing much on this channel. I'm sorry that's taking up so much time out of this episode, but it's like, I don't know, this is just something that I like to talk about this kind of stuff. That's why I have a Let's Play channel, so I can just literally talk, you know? But I do like to write, and I'm trying to become like a full-time writer. And one of the early novels that is kind of on the back burner for now, just for like personal reasons, the second chapter, like the first chapter, like zero exposition, it's all just like, here's the situation, and the audience just essentially absorbing information while the character is trying to figure out what's going on. And then the second chapter is just exposition, and my mindset at the time was, well, you know, it needs to happen, and this is the place where it like naturally comes into the story, and it fits best here. But it was literally just character asks question, other character answers. And that's to me, the way I wrote the scene is it's just characters, again, just asking a question, and then another character regurgitating, like, not regurgitating, but like, just barfing information at them. And that's just not very fun to read or to listen to. So that's a weakness I have too, is trying to find a way for exposition scenes to be more entertaining. I feel like that's a weakness that a lot of writers have. Like, a lot of writers have. It's a lot harder to get around in a series like Fate, or the thing I was working on, where they're like more like fantasy and more like things that just aren't like fiction, essentially, where things just are happening that aren't real, that need to be explained, and need to be explained in a way that makes sense in the context of how it could exist in a world, you know? And I still feel like, again, Nasu still struggles with that today in Fate Grand Order, because, like, oh, dude, the first Singularity, it's just exposition. Like, the whole first section is just exposition. And I actually had to drop the game twice. I dropped it twice because of how boring the first section was. And it's still he has some pretty solid exposition scenes in Fate Grand Order, but he still has a lot that aren't that good. But that was me talking about writing. Yeah. Anyways, as I have never had a proper teacher, it seems Tosaka is still willing to teach me, so I should go see her as quickly as I can. Sorry, I'll be going to Tosaka's room. I don't know how long it'll take, so you guys can go rest. Alright, I'm kind of sleepy, so I'll take a nap. Ilya goes out of the dojo, rubbing her eyes sleepily. Good. If Ilya will calmly go to sleep, there won't be any problems with me going to Tosaka's room. Shiro, are you going to Rin's room? That is what I just said. Yeah, I just... I feel like I'm like connecting to these characters too much now. I have spent too much time with these people, okay? Just too much time. Yeah, I just said so. I need her to teach me magic. Is there a need for that? We have defeated Berserker, and there are no more enemies that require our cooperation to defeat. There should not be anything you need to learn from Rin. That might certainly be true. First of all, Tosaka taught me so that we could go up against Berserker. Now that need is not there. There's no more reason to learn from Tosaka, but... Yeah, I was gonna say, like... I still feel like it's just a useful skill for Shiro to have as a Magus to, like, practice magic, because if he's better at magic... Yeah, like, Lancer still could have easily killed him, but Shiro possibly could have escaped. He could have survived longer, you know, like, if he's ever in a situation where he needs it, learning from Rin will help him in his life, essentially. You know? No, I want to learn from her. Forgetting the thing about Berserker. I'm inexperienced, so I have to become a better Magus as quickly as I can. Oh, I think she just wants to spend time with us, but simultaneously doesn't want to get too close to us. That's the vibes I'm getting right now. She just wants to spend some nice, good, quality time. That is her love. I'm sorry. This is... I just realized this is not a very ready episode. This is just me enjoying it, you know? And you know what? That's what I like. I'm okay with that. I think she just wants to spend some quality time with Shiro. Again, that's her love language, and I can respect that. I see, if you say so, I have no right to stop you. Saber murmurs with a sad face. Oh, no, 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 I want to let me make the decision to stay. Darn you, Nasu, you suck, I hate you, all of your writing is garbage now. Ugh. I'll start the lecture, but there's something I need to ask you first. Is any part of your body broken? Tosa asks me a strange question as soon as I enter her room. What? What would be broken? I'm asking you if any of your part of your body won't move. You did something as absurd as that, so I know your nerves must be burned up somewhere. I don't really care, but I need to know before I start teaching you. I think my body should be numb somewhere according to Tosaka, but I know myself that she's wrong. No, my whole body's fine. The fever and the headache went away after one night, so I'm healthy now. Huh? That can't be true. You projected Saber's sword. That kind of stunt should at least take out one of your arms. I'm telling you, they're fine. Anyways, if I couldn't move, I wouldn't have been able to carry Ilya home. And train with Saber. The only things wrong with me back then were the fever and the headache. You're lying. Let me see your arm, Shiro. Without waiting for a reply, Tosaka takes my arms and stares at it. That makes my breathing stop. Even though I'm getting used to having her this close tenses me up. And on top of that, this distance reminds me of that night. It's not like I forgot about it, but that was really just an emergency illusion. I can't stay calm if I recall it, but I don't recall unless something like this happens. That's why I'm able to talk normally if Tosaka acts normal. If she comes close to me like this, it's only natural for me to tense up and stop breathing. There really doesn't seem to be anything wrong. There are some places black like a bruise. That might be because of the burning, but everything else is healed. No, it's more like it grew anew rather than healing. She murmurs, her breathing brushes my arm. Hey, that makes me blush, but your body is ridiculous. This isn't because of that healing. Your healing is definitely caused by some outside force. But I think this is from your own healing power. She says so while rolling up my sleeve and patting my arm. Hey, stop that. That's enough, Tosaka. Go sit in your chair if you're done. I pull my arm back and get away from Tosaka. Hey, I'm examining your body. See how you are. Oh, I see. Tosaka moves closer to me. You say your fever's gone, but still seems like you have one. Your face is all red. That's none of your business. Don't worry about it. I see. If it's none of my business, then you won't mind me doing this, right? Don't put your hand on my forehead. I don't have a fever, so there's no point. It seems so. Even your ears are red. It's more like you're drunk than feverish. See, she smiles maliciously. It's deliberate. But she's doing this deliberately. Tosaka, you're doing this on purpose, right? Oh, you can tell? I had to make fun of you since your reactions are so good. You should go to hell for toying with a man's innocence. You're not innocent anymore, Shiro, come on. Oh my gosh! Oh, I can't underline it. I need to take away that setting. I need to get my mouse back on the screen. But the Mummy Hunter. I thought she said the Mommy Hunter. I thought she was calling us that, and I was like, oh, absolutely. Where are they? Gosh darn it, game. Well, I'll stop playing around. The Mummy Hunter might become the mummy if I make fun of you too much. That's a saying, I guess. Tosaka returns to her chair in a good mood. This is a problem. Tosaka will likely make fun of me as the days go by. Tosaka, I don't like to say this, but I came here to learn seriously. Oh, that's so impolite. I feel the same way. I was just checking on my student's health just now. Okay, then you'll get to the point, right? Let's see. It's outside my specialty, so I'll only be able to give you some advice, but I'm sure it's better than nothing. Tosaka turns to me seriously, discarding her early lightheartedness. To be honest, that last lesson was the last time I could be of help to you. You can't learn magic with such short lessons. I only turned the switch on for you so that you didn't use. Do you understand? That jewel, right? After I swallowed it, the magic circuit did become something to switch on and off, rather than something to make. Yeah, that's about all I can teach you in such a short time. And even that was just releasing what you've been training until now. I can only develop what you've learned. I have no intention of teaching you any new magic. Because you have no talent. Yeah, I feel kind of refreshed if you tell me straight like that. But you will give me advice about the magic I can use, right? So tell me what I used back then. Tosaka doesn't answer. She just glares at me like I'm in her enemy. Tosaka, this is a lecture, right? If it's a problem if you don't say anything. She averts her gaze with an unhappy expression. That's only for a moment. That's impossible. I can't use projection magic. There's no way I can teach you about something I don't understand. You can't use it? I tilt my head questioningly. Wasn't the thing I get using against Berserker a fundamental for a Magus? Assuming the structure of an object and passing the necessary magical energy through it? It's no different from a strengthening magic. But it's hard to pass my magical energy, an alien element, through the object that's already there. It's like adding paint I consider red to make something redder, ending up with a different color. Compared to that, it's so much easier to draw using my own paint to start to finish. I can just draw whatever I want. That can't be true. You must be able to do it. It's easier than strengthening magic. Hey, if you said that to another Magus, they would kill you for sure. What you did was projection, and you completely reproduced a noble phantasm. I've never heard of a faker who could do such a thing. I feel a chill. It's not my imagination. Tosaka is currently hostile towards me. It's nothing. I had a sense of it since I saw your shed. There's no point in feeling enmity. I always struggle with this word. There's no point in feeling hostility towards Miyashiro now. I think I'm gonna end it here because we're about to go into exposition. And that's not the only reason why I'm just like 6 minutes over. So yeah. Again, if you don't care at all about me just talking about writing and stuff and what I actually think of like the story and Nasu's writing, then I do apologize, but I mean, hey, I do it. It's what I'm gonna do. I enjoy it. So there's not a whole lot to say about it. But I am going to end the episode here. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, the guys, Darkman here. Welcome back to more Fate Stay Night. My voice is so tired. Not my voice, but just like my tongue. My tongue, excuse me, is feeling so weird. I have recorded from episode 52 to now. I think that this is about to be episode 56. All back to back to back to back to back with no breaks. So my mouth is tired. Anyways, with that being said, let's just jump into it. I'll explain since you seem to be misunderstanding. What you did was projection magic. It's the incomplete magic that reproduces images of existing artwork or weapons, using your own magical energy. It's usually used as a temporary substitute for ritual items, but it disappears quickly since it's made from an image. And it's naturally recognized as an imaginary object, like imaginary numbers. This is all math. I can understand that it's reproduced made out of illusions. I saw Saber's sword in my dreams and imagined the golden sword based on it. I don't get it. Magical energy is like clay, so shouldn't it stay around once it takes form, even if it's just an image? That's not true. Magical energy is something that can only exist inside you, right? That's why you pass your magical energy through into other things and use magical energy as a starter to affect nature. Ugh. I think it's starting to affect me. Sure, I can make something in like a dagger by mixing magical energy into like toffee, but that's it. It's just toffee that's shaped like a dagger, and it'll disappear quickly since magical energy taken outside will vaporize. Listen, things made of magical energy will not last long, and they're just shapes. Well, I guess the projection magic takes these things with only shape and makes the ability close to the originals as well. Certainly magical energy has no shape. I can feel it when it's in my body, but it fades and disappears once it goes outside. So no matter how well I make a blueprint, in my head and construct something out of magical energy. It is only natural for it to fade away since it's made out of magical energy. Come to think of it, when I first did something like projection, when Kurisugu first started to teach me, he told me to do strengthening instead because projection was inefficient. I see, projection uses a lot of magical energy. It'll disappear right away when you use it, so it's pointless to make things. That's right. For example, you would use a 10 magical energy to project a sword, right? In that case, the sword only has the power of about 3 or 4. The human image is full of holes, so it can't reproduce something just like the original. In contrast, if you strengthen a sword using 10 magical energy, the power of the sword increases to 20 or 30, and it lasts 100 times longer than projection. You understand? You understand? Nowadays, projection magic is only used during rituals. It's just a magic used to prepare a temporary substitute in case a real tool cannot be prepared. It's appropriate for your father to teach you strengthening. You don't have many magic circuits to begin with, so you wouldn't be any different from a normal person if he taught you something as useless as projection magic. Oh yeah, sure was really useless when we beat Berserker with it. I understand that. But then, what was that? The golden sword that I imagined in my head and reproduced seemed to have its original powers. Then I guess it was only by chance that I could project Saber's sword. Come to think of it, that sword held ridiculous amounts of magical energy. It's really strange to imitate magical energy that's 100 times what I have, huh? That's, probably because you're compatible with swords. Magi each have an attribute, right? I think it's swords in your case. Attribute? You mean elements like fire or water? Earth, air, water, fire, and swords. Long ago, the 5 nations lived in harmony, until they realized that the swords were just a bit too edgy. Right, one usually takes one of the elements that make up this world. They call fire normal and wind noble in the Magic Association, right? Or it can be one of earth, water, fire, wind, heaven, or of wood. Fire, earth, metal, water. What? Earth, water, fire, wind, heaven, wood, fire, earth, metal, water. Shut up, Rin. The Magus has one of these elements, and there are others with specialized elements as well. Most of these Magi end up as specialists, though. And in your case, it's swords. There's no variety, but you can try and be the best when it comes to swords. I see, certainly. When it comes to swords, I've always had a strong interest in them. Then what attribute would be Yubi Tosaka? Considering her, I'm sure it's something uppity like fire or wind. But I want to ask and I'm curious. Hey, Tosaka, I'll ask you for a reference, but what attribute do you have? Me? I have the Infinity, or the 5 elements. I forgot what hers was called, because I already knew that she had a lot of them. I have the attribute called the 5 elements. Does that mean she has all of them? Anyways, that's about all I can tell you. Projection is so useless that it's even called vanity, so don't use it too much. If only she knew. On top of that, it's suicidal to reproduce Saber's sword. It's good you succeeded at that time, but it wouldn't have been strange if you had died right then. You said it earlier that the magical energy in Saber's sword is way over your capacity. You understand that reproducing that thing is easily past the limits of your magic circuits, right? I know, but you can't easily go past your limits. No, before that, it's the limit, so surely you can't go over it. You can. That's why Magi always have death right beside them. Magic follows a form, so it's only natural that you can use any magic you have if you have knowledge, right? Even if you know it's a miracle that you cannot reproduce, anyone can attempt it. A Magus is only a source of power. Even with a small engine, you can go over the speed limit if you keep pressing on the gas, but all that lies ahead is destruction. It's just like that. Magi can easily go over the limit if they're prepared for self-destruction. Burning up the magic circuit and running the nerves. But if you keep on turning the magical energy, you'll reach the miracle. Your projection is just that. Your body was burning after the battle because your nerves were burned out. That's the price you paid for using magic beyond your level. After doing that, it would be natural for you to lose an arm or two. She's angry at me, but at the same time. So bear this in mind, Emiya. Magic beyond one's limit will make the caster a cripple. Never do anything as dangerous as projecting Saber's sword again. She's really worried about me as well. After warning me, Tosaka hands me some strange medicine. Well, I guess it's useless to tell you not to push yourself. It'll probably just be a little comfort, but at least take some painkillers. Just in case. If it works well, it might heal your bruised skin as well. Saying that, she prepares a light green powder for me. I drink the medicine with tea. Tosaka rummages through her stuff and tries to prescribe me another medicine. Well, I feel sorry for Tosaka rummaging through her stuff, but I'm bored just sitting here, so I should... My three options are: ask about projection magic, silence is good, question number 1. I don't really know what else did I even ask about projection magic. Water's good. I worked out before this recording session, so I'm probably gonna go take a shower after this episode and give my mouth a break. Low-key, trying to finish the Fate route in this session. It's not gonna happen because it's already 11 p.m. and I have to wake up early tomorrow, so it's not gonna happen, but I'm trying. There's literally no way it's happening. Honestly, silence is good. Hang on, I just want to see what happens. Question number 1. There's something I don't understand. Tosaka wasn't easily crushed in the battle against Berserker. I wonder what kind of trick that was. Hey, Tosaka, can I ask you something about yesterday? What? I'm busy, so make it short. Yeah, you got grabbed by Berserker, right? I was wondering how you survived. It doesn't look like it, but do you really train your abs? Able to withstand Berserker's strength just from training. Are you saying my stomach is stronger than steel? Sorry, I shouldn't have asked like that. I'm sorry, so could you lose the menacing smile? You should stop provoking me then. So, how I endured it? I placed a jewel on my stomach beforehand. I put it inside my shirt and made a protective cover. Are you happy now? I see, you intended to have Berserker grab you from the start. Of course you protect your body. But Tosaka, then your jewels are... They're all gone. I used one on Saber, 3 to draw Berserker's attention, 5 to blow his face off, and I used 1 to protect myself. I saved up for more than 10 years, but I used them up just like that. And even using most of them, I couldn't defeat Berserker. She sighs, wondering why, but she doesn't regret using them. What's done is done. She knows that the important thing is not what she lost, but what she will gain from now on. I see. That was too bad, Tosaka. Thanks. Well, I'll learn from it and make a jewel that'll let me win by myself next time. She says so simply. And she says, as she says, I bet her words will come true. Because of that, I realize our battle with Berserker ended in victory because Tosaka was there. How did question number 1 result in me asking that? It sounded like question number 1 was saying, hey, ask the first, like, the number 1. They're numbered. Ugh. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, after she makes me drink various medicine, she makes me practice simple strengthening and check on my health. Like checking if there's anything wrong with my body by channeling magical energy through it, and so on. Tosaka is more like a doctor than a teacher today. Alright, there doesn't seem to be any problem. You don't need to come tomorrow. Huh? I'm surprised. That means... It's only natural. There's nothing I can teach you in this situation. If you really want to learn magic, you should do so after the war is over. And Archer isn't here anymore, right? My cooperation with you is finished. What? Being told that, I finally realize. From the beginning, we cooperated to fight Berserker. Berserker's gone and Tosaka has lost her servant. So this all should have ended yesterday. Then what are you going to do now? Will you go to Kotomie? That would only be natural. Tosaka and Kotomie are close, so it should be fine for her to request protection. No. Why? I won't go there when I haven't lost yet. It's not like I can't fight because I don't have my servant anymore. And it's not like me to quit this halfway. Once I've decided to fight, it's my responsibility to see it through to the end. And as if it's only natural, Tosaka says it confidently. I'm stunned. No, I'm not surprised. I knew Tosaka was this kind of person. She is really firm, and amazingly selfish, and so fascinatingly brilliant. But what will you do? Are you going to continue by yourself? There's still masters and servants left. Yeah, so we'll gather information here for a while. I have to resume my research about Ryudo Temple as well. Stay here for a while, is that alright? That'll be helpful, but our cooperation has ended, right? So, what are you saying? You were about to beat you were able to beat Berserker because of Archer. Our cooperation is over, but you still owe me for that. It's only natural for you to keep me here until you finish returning the favor. She just said, we're still cooperating, but in cursive. And I told you, I'm responsible right to the very end. We became student and teacher, even if it was a short while. I can't leave you alone, or I'll be too worried to concentrate on the Holy Grail War. In other words, this is it. Feels like ages ago, but the Tosaka Rin that Emiyashiro admired was a girl like this. That's why I'm happy. Tosaka has to be like this. After all, I wouldn't know what to believe if such a stubborn girl decided to give up. Yeah, please give me your best regards, Tosaka. I don't know right from left if you're not around. We need you, Tosaka. That's fine, but you shouldn't use that expression. Shoot, it's okay that you're stupidly honest, but there might be some misunderstanding if you're not careful. I don't quite understand why Tosaka would get mad at that. Tosaka, what kind of misunderstandings? I ask since I'm curious. Hold it, you let something slip out. My attitude should tell you not to ask, so asking me is against the rules. Seems Tosaka knows a rule I don't know about. I'm shocked. It must be upsetting for Saber if you're like this. Well, maybe you two are fine like that. It could be pretty bad if you are both a bit numb to it. I don't quite get it, but I can't ignore your comment about upsetting Saber. Why would you be upset, Tosaka? I'm saying that aspect of you is upsetting. I bet you haven't even noticed the change in Saber. Well, actually, change in Saber? That's not a change on the outside, is it? If anything has changed about Saber, it's... Oh yeah, Saber's been acting rather strangely since this morning. Well, I think she's just in a bad mood since Ilya's here. But even now, she just sits there all quiet, and when I ask her what's wrong, she just tells me she had a dream and leaves. I forgot about it since I was busy with Ilya. Come to think of it, Saber is acting weird like she was half asleep or something. Saber had a dream? Huh? Is that really the surprising part? Oh, she's ignoring me. Hey, don't be quiet and say something. It makes me feel uneasy when you make a face like that. Huh? Oh, it's nothing major. It's just that servants don't dream. Servants don't dream? That's right, servants don't have dreams. What if they say they saw one? It wasn't a dream. They just caught a glimpse of someone's memory. Tosaka must have had the same experience. She says so with a coldness, totally different from her earlier cheerfulness. She saw something in Dashiro's past. And so, I'm gonna end right there, because my mouth needs a break. Yeah, but so with that all being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, Darknerd, welcome back for some more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, we were told that projection's stupid. I think that happened last time. These episodes are kind of mixing together, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's really it. It was a shorter one. My voice really needed a break. And I am back a few minutes after the last one, because that's what I do here. Anyways, let's just jump into it. This might also be a pretty short one too, just because it's 11:53 p.m. and I need to wake up tomorrow, and I'm already pretty tired, and I haven't even taken my melatonin yet. Which, even though I'm really tired, I won't be able to sleep until I take it, just because that's just how I am. So anyways, let's just jump into it. And so, it's time to prepare dinner. All the things that happened in the past few days must have destroyed the cooking rotation. I'll leave dinner tonight to you. It looks like it's going to be cold tonight again, and Ilya's here. So, doesn't stew sound good? But she tells me that as she leaves. Well, stew certainly seems to suit Ilya. Maybe because of how she looks with the coat and the hat. Anyways, I have no objections to making stew for dinner. I'm not that good at making Western food, but I shouldn't make any terrible mistakes with stew. Oh, before that, it's a bit before 6. There's still a bit of time until I need to start cooking. I'm sweaty, so I should take a bath. It's a bit of hassle to take a bath before dinner. Since Tosaka and Saber take their baths after dinner, I'm forced to take it late. The hallway is cold. The room is warm because of the heater, but I can feel the winter cold as soon as I emerge into the hallway. It seems that even though the weather should be warm, it's been a bit screwed up the past few days. Speaking of cold, I heard that it snowed. I didn't notice, probably because it lasted less than an hour and there wasn't much. Well, if it did pile up, the yard would be full of a snowman army, and I'd have to clean it up afterwards, so you could say I'm glad. What? Why would the yard be full of a snowman army? Okay, whatever. Of course, only one person would build a snowman army. The day it snowed last year, I remembered her standing in front of the class with hands... Oh. Was it Taiga? I was going to take a shower, but the bathroom was quite hot already. Shiro? The sound of water, as soon as my gaze moves to the bathtub. Oh! Oh! I need to remember to censor that. Ah. Hello, Saber. My head goes wider than the steam. What? I can't talk right since my throat is numb. I can't move my body because I can't think. But still, somewhere in my head, I think that something like this happened before. No, it's not the exact same as before. Saber was naked last time, but I was fully clothed. But this time, I'm naked as well, even though I'm confused, my body is reacting. Saber? My gasp echoes through the air. Saber watches as I stand there dumbfounded. Saber will get mad this time. Surely she'll get mad. She'll definitely get mad. As proof, her soft lips are trembling as if they will yell in the next moment. Sorry, it was my fault. I tried to use the shower. I never thought someone would be using it at this time. Well, it's normal for you to think I should have noticed beforehand, but... I give my excuses while backing up towards the dressing room. It's not like I'm fascinated by Saber's body. It just feels like Saber will get madder if I run back to the dressing room. But in either case, I can't take my eyes off her. I remember that night at the ruins. Then I merely desperately felt Saber's skin. I couldn't see Saber's body in the dark, so I only remember her warmth and her sensations. Is that why? Is that why I think the body I've seen once obtained is so beautiful? Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I reach behind me, searching for the door. Then... Excuse me, Shiro. Oh! My mind skipped over a word in there. I thought she was saying, could you stay for a while? And I was like, oh, am I about to have to, like, just skip through another chunk of the novel? But never mind. It is a selfish request, but would it be possible for you to stay away for a while? Saber asks in a faint voice as she averts her gaze. That really blanks my mind. Why Saber won't get mad? Her embarrassed face makes all the blood go to my head. Why? I murmur by reflex. Saber hangs her head, even more in apology. Please, use the shower at a later time. I wish for you to allow me to use this place by myself for now. Saber curls up as if hiding her body. That suddenly makes me remember. When I met Saber in the dressing room last time, she didn't say anything. The sex of a servant is of no concern. She was the one who said that with no concern for her nakedness. Well, hold on, my head's spinning and I can't quite make it work. Come on, work. So you're not mad? It is only natural for you to wash your body. I do not restrict my master's actions to that degree. I understand. In other words, Saber thinks nothing of being seen naked. So it's only natural that I'm here. As the bath is a place to wash your body, it's only natural for me to be here. Saber being here also is of no concern. That's, helpful, but I also think it's wrong. But then, that would mean I can't use the shower right now. Don't! I have to move the sensors if you do that! I am saying that, Saber hangs her head in embarrassment. The problem is not being seen naked, but my body is not like that of a girl such as Rin. So... Saber blushes even more, and finishes with difficulty. I do not want you to look at me. Such a muscular body must be unsightly to men. She says that. Girl, listen, all I'm gonna say is... That's what everyone wants nowadays. Alright? That's just what everyone wants nowadays, and they're not wrong, alright? I summoned for Canis for a reason, even though They were cowards and didn't give it to her. You know what I mean? Like, listen. I almost faint for a bunch of different reasons. That's stupid. Don't be... If I finish, I'm sure I'll go crazy. Saber's body is not unsightly. She claims her body is rugged, but I was never worried about that. Of course, her body is trained compared to Tosaka's, but still, I think Saber's body is really feminine. Shiro, so I wish for you to leave me alone for now. I don't know how I answered. All I can remember is that I nodded and shut the door. And so the day ends. Dinner was exciting. Ilia spoke more and more at each meal today. She had a weird relationship with Tosaka where I couldn't tell whether they were friendly or fighting. Saber is more approving of Ilia, but she must not have let her guard down, as she frowns every time Ilia comes near her. I mean, near me. The past few days were too wild. A normal day like this is unsettling for me. I go out to the yard quietly. It's a bit before midnight. Under the cold moonlight, I walk, leaving traces of white breath behind me. Before I realize it, I'm doing my daily routine. I'm being taught by Tosaka, so there's no need for me to train here now. But still, I sit on the cold ground and check the thing within me. It's not that I feel uneasy about my skills. This is just a jinx. I've been doing this for years now, so it doesn't feel right unless I finish my day here. Trace on. But today's training is more heated than usual. Tosaka told me not to use it, but I can't obediently agree with her. If I can't make this projection thing mine, if I can make this projection thing mine, it'll be a powerful weapon, and I'll be able to help Saber better. And besides, I still have that heat in my body. The night at the ruin, the battle in the forest filled me with the morning mist. The golden sword I made. The remaining heat is still in my hands. My heart wishes to start burning again when I try again. Creation concept analysis. Reproducing it is easy. My mind was jumbled up back then because I was desperate. But I can perform only the steps I need now. No. From the beginning, there was only one to guide Emyashiro. Pronunciation is the same. Just change the self-recognition, and it'll become an original spell. Basic structure, analyze. I ascertain how dangerous this is without needing for Tosaka to tell me. As a Magus, Emyashiro must not associate himself with projection. It's something that's beyond me. Venture beyond one's capabilities will eventually be paid for by death. All cut. Clear. 0. I erased the blueprint I was drawing. On the other side of the door, as if hiding the blue moon, Saber approaches. Good, you are here. I thought something might have happened as I could not find you. No, nothing's wrong. I couldn't sleep, so I was exercising my head. I'll go back to my room once I'm done, so you don't need to worry. I see. That is good then. Saying so, she looks at me. It's impossible to hide my face. It's impossible to hide as my face is all sweaty as always. Yeah, this is the same as always too, so don't worry about it. Magic training is natural for a Magus, right? Well, I'm inexperienced, so I make a lot of mistakes. I wipe the sweat off my forehead. Huh? I'm surprised. The sweat I wipe off is ice cold. I thought it was cold, but this was cold in the shed. Shiro, you have been doing this every day? Well, as much as I can. It's a daily routine Father told me to do, so I have to do at least this much. For replying, I regret that I'm bluffing. This is my daily routine. I wanted to boast to Saber by saying that. The training at the end of the day is certainly no trouble for me. It was never easy for me either. Saber doesn't say anything. Behind her is the moon. Slanting rays of light enter the shed, covered in blue darkness. This is like a reproduction of the night. That's literally what I was just thinking. Saber, Tosaka said something. As soon as I think this is like watching a dream. Is it true that servants don't dream? Without realizing, I ask her that question. No, we don't have dreams. As we are spiritual, we do not sleep. I have to sleep because I cannot go into spiritual form, but even I cannot dream. But this morning you said you did. Small silence. She closes her eyes once and looks at me with a gentle face, as if she's determined. What I saw was your dream, Shiro. Master and servant are mentally connected as well. If our connection becomes stronger, things like seeing the other's past might start to occur. Dream? You mean my past? Yes. I knew it was a deed that steps into your mind, but I could not refuse it. Please forgive me, Shiro. That goes for me as well. Saber's past. I've seen the days before she became a servant many times. Idiot, that's not your fault. You can't help it if you dream about it. Besides, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I only did boring, uninteresting stuff when I was small, right? You can't sleep peacefully if you have dreams like that. No, I only dreamt this morning. It was not a recent event, so it does not invade your privacy as a man. Saber comments honestly, but private? Well, I've done ordinary, stupid things, but... That's good. You say it wasn't recent, so when was it from? It was a large fire. That was the only scene I saw. A quiet voice. Her gentle eyes tell me what she saw. I see. Oh! So she dreamt about that. I see. That's, should I say unfortunate? It's like going to a movie theater to go see a movie you know, but going into the wrong theater and seeing something completely different. That made me understand. No, I thought I did before as well. You have a dangerous side to you. What do you mean by dangerous? Well, I'm sure all aspects of me look dangerous in your view. That is not what I mean. Shiro, you are like me. That is why I can tell... That is why I can tell you what you have done wrong. As I am the same. I can tell what will happen to you if you continue on like this. But I haven't done anything wrong. My mistakes are countless, of course, but I'm going to become a superhero, like my father. I can't do anything wrong. I'm saying that is the wrongdoing. Shiro, that accident was not your fault. It is not something you can be held responsible for. There's nothing for you to make up for. Of course. It was only an accident, and I was only a victim. Well, certainly there have been times when I felt guilty about being the only survivor, but... Mien said so before that your self-devotion is abnormal. I feel the same way. You do not try to save others. You do not try to save others at the cost of your life. You simply do not consider your own life at all. Did my pupils open wide? Somehow I cannot see Saber's face clearly. You will not be able to forget about that accident. You cannot change as long as you remember it. Is that not painful for you? Painful? Me? Well, of course it's painful. Saber doesn't need to tell me that. It's only natural. So many people died, and it was such a hell. I think it's only natural for it to be painful. Besides, if it weren't, it might all be meaningless. Yeah, it certainly is certainly painful to remember, but it's already over. It's not something I can do anything about now. Saber doesn't answer. She scratches her arms, irritated. I need to obtain the Holy Grail, but it is the same for you as well. Saber. You need the Holy Grail. It was inevitable that I would be called to you, Master. How can I answer that? I will go ahead and sleep. Please do not push yourself, Shiro. Saber leaves. I cross my arms and ponder. Do I need the Holy Grail? The Grail that grants the wishes of its possessors? Possessor? A vessel which contains unlimited amounts of magical energy, for which it is said nothing is impossible. If I had such a thing, my wish would certainly be easily granted, but... No, that's wrong. No matter how I look at it, I don't need the Holy Grail. Yeah, I definitely don't need it. Because I don't have any wishes that won't come true, or that are impossible. Because if it's a dream, I can't reach by myself. I won't even dream it in the first place. The night thickens. With only the moonlight, I listen to the distant wind and the familiar shed. Okay, this might sound weird, but I started, like, tearing up a little bit during that scene, and I don't know why. I don't know if you guys could, like, hear it in my voice, but there was just like a small part of me, like I was just like sitting there, like going through it, and like I could like feel like the tears like welling up in the corners of my eyes, and I was just sitting there thinking like, what is happening? Like I know that this is a sad scene, but like not necessarily even a sad scene, more of like just like a downer kind of scene. I guess that's a good way to put it. But like I don't, something about that scene just hit me, and I don't know why. Um, but yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. I think there's only one day left after this. That is crazy. We are reaching. Gosh darn it, I hate OBS. I just looked up at it and it's cutting off the top of the screen a little bit. Whatever. Yeah, we're reaching the end of this. That is crazy. So yeah, I guess with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Shiro peeping incident. Okay, that just ruined the mood. Anyways, bye. Hey there, guys. We are back with some more Fate. I think we're probably coming up on the end, because again, I think that there are only 14 days in this, so we are pretty close. A red hill covered in corpses and a gray sky. The heavy clouds drifting away announced the end of the battle. I know this scene. This is a scene I've seen many times already. This is one of the battles Saber experienced. These are the remains of a battleground so familiar to her, as she is always victorious. After this, she will return to her castle. The people will celebrate her victory, and they will prepare for the next battle. This is her everyday life. This is but one of the 12 great battles she had gone through. That is why she does not bear any memories of the victory, but merely accepts it calmly. I think about such random things. That is not a dream, just a cold truth that cannot be changed. From the moment she drew the sword from the stone, she was not human. After becoming a feudal lord like her father, she became a king with many knights. She was called King Arthur, or Arturia, the girl who had tried to become a king, had her life turned around. No, it is more correct to say that it ended. At that instant, the girl with childlike features disappeared, and the only existence permitted was that of the King of Knights. She acted as the son of the king. That is because the one to govern many territories and control the knights had to be male. The only ones who knew that the king was just a girl were her father and the Magus. She literally covered herself in steel and sealed that truth for all her life. Why didn't I realize what that meant? This one place before everyone managed to keep her identity secret. I don't know what suffering she went through, though, as I'm only watching from a distance. Time passes. These must be her memories of the 10 years she spent as king. There's only one thing common to all of them. Even on the throne, even in a hallway, even on the battlefield, no one talked to her. Even the loud round table filled with the knights' tales of bravado falls silent when the king steps in. So that's what it means. She was only idolized. Many knights looked down on Arturia, who looked like a small kid, and they did not approve of swearing their sword to her. But because she drew out the sword that they could not, they had to obey her, at least in form. They just accepted the disgrace, believing that it would pass. Even if she drew the sword, she is just a child. Even with Merlin's help, she will fail soon enough. When that happens, they need to only take the holy sword away from her and reselect the king. That's what most of the knights thought. But the results were different. The king just entered adulthood was a king without flaw. She brought peace to the fighting lords and immediately fought off the invading armies. Of course, it wasn't because of the power of the holy sword. The holy sword only protects the king. It is the king's power that protected the country, and in that way, she suppressed the knights with the results. The protection of the holy sword works only against enemy swords. It does not help rule over people's hearts. She worked hard to be an ideal king, and so the knights had to follow their king from their heart. They suppressed their dissatisfaction with the young king, as they saw he was perfect. She tried to be an ideal king. Being an ideal king was the condition of their support. There was no room for the human Arturia, the girl determined to be king. A great knight who pulled out the holy sword, who did not age from that moment on, and the one who won 12 great battles. The more perfect she was, the more people kept away from her. The longer she stayed that way, the more isolated she became. That was her true identity. But she still did well. No, she did too well. She defeated her enemies efficiently and minimized the victims in battle. No matter what kind of war it is, a battle will have victims. So she believed she should make sacrifices before the war to prepare the army and to defeat the enemy efficiently. She would exhaust one village to prepare the army, defeat the invaders before they could damage the land, and save 10 villages. That was the solution she came up with as the king, and in truth, it was the best policy. But the knights must have been unhappy. For them, only the invaders should die. It was only proper to win without allowing any victims. There's no need to sacrifice one's own territory before a battle. We will win, so there will not be any victims. There will not be any victims, so the king's actions are fruitless. That's what they thought. Of course, that's just a fantasy. Once the battle began, the knights did not think about the small villages. It is only natural for them to trample over them, as the small villages are not what they seek to protect. The knights say it is only natural to be destroyed by the invaders, but it is a great sin to destroy them with our own hands. Of course she knew that, but a king cannot allow her personal feelings to affect her decisions. She kills her emotions to make a decision, and the knights suppress their personal feelings to obey. And after many sacrifices and continuing victories, the country became stable. The price of that was a revolt against the king. King Arthur does not understand human feelings. One knight said so and left the castle. It's a ridiculous story. Nobody wanted her to be human. They revolted against her because she didn't have a human's feelings. The Age of Chaos continues. The knights who had been dissatisfied with the king for some time became more dissatisfied after that one knight left. They pushed all problems onto her and cornered her. Ruin was in sight. Death if she could not solve all the problems. Even if she did solve them, the results would be the same. But such trivial things are of no concern to a king. Her mind will not change, even if she abandoned, feared, or betrayed. Even if she is abandoned, feared, or betrayed. Probably because she had her mind made up long before. She abandoned her emotions from the moment she decided to pull out the sword. Seen from a few years before. Knights fell all over the country, gathered to try to pull out the sword and the stone, but nobody could pull it out, and the knights were desperate to choose the most superior king by competing jousting skills. The knights went to the arena and forgot about the sword. It felt much like watching a festival from a distance. In the distance are the brave sounds of the cavalry. The roars of the knights are far away, and there is no one around the stone. What did the girl think before that? Before she realized it, an unknown Magus was standing behind her. You should think this through before you grab that. He says he was not trying to frighten her, but that she should stop. You'll not be human once you take hold of the sword. He also said that she would be resented by all humanity and die a miserable death. She could not have been without fear, because the Magus showed her the end she would face if she took the sword. No. But that just made the girl more determined. She nodded firmly, even when she was shown her future. The Magus asks her if she's really fine with that. Many people were smiling. I do not believe it'll be a mistake. She takes the sword. The Magus turns her back. A miracle has a price. In exchange, you will lose the thing most important to you. And leaves those prophetic words. That's right. The girl only wanted to protect everyone. But to do so, she had to throw away the emotion of wanting to protect people. Because one cannot protect a country as king if one has human emotions. She accepted it and pulled out the sword. She accepted it and swore to live as the king. So her heart would not change even if she was abandoned, feared, or betrayed. She threw away her heart. The young girl decided to protect in exchange for it. Who would ever know of such sublime oath? She chose to fight, no matter what. She still chose to fight, even if there was inevitable solitary ruin waiting at the end. And the end was this, the Battle of Camlan. One knight usurped the throne while King Arthur was on a campaign. Her country split into two and a war began. In the legend, it is said that knights and chivalry were utterly destroyed. She slashed away the knights that once followed her and attacked the lands she once protected. The knights who sided with her died and her body was crippled. There's nobody around her. That's normal. Nothing has changed. The only thing in her heart is her pride as the king. She knew of this end. But she still ran through her life because she believed something came of it. That's why she has no regrets. If there is one regret, It is that this country is in ruin. She raises her eyes. She might be able to see the distant castle from this hill, but all that's there is the remains of a battle, a deep forest, and a lake she must return to. Yes, the hill she ran through is now a wall she cannot climb over. Strength escapes her shoulders, and for the first time, the girl lets go of the holy sword of her own will. And that is the end. It's only natural for the dream to end there, because that is the end of her memories. So this is one end that cannot be changed. She worked so hard, she was resented, and she was betrayed. No one ever realized that she loved the people more than the country, and she was always the merciless king. She was never rewarded or understood. On the Red Hill of Swords, the solitary girl who was always betrayed is about to face death. I wake up to the sound of the rain. It's morning. I hold my shaking head and get my body up. It's not 6 yet. The sound of rain from outside isn't that loud. It's not a shower or a drizzle, just normal rain. I rattle my teeth at the sudden headache, but it only lasts for a moment. Neither the pain nor the image that pops into my head lasts long. That scene is more than enough to wake up my brain up. That dream. No, I don't even need to confirm it. That was Saber's past. It was the end of her life that happened a long time ago, that cannot be changed. Before I realize it, I'm gritting my teeth. It's making a sound. Somehow I'm really angry. I grit my teeth loudly and suppress the urge to have a fit. Damn it, what was that? Just remembering it makes me mad. Her past, her thinking nothing of it, and me thinking the dream was nothing. I don't like it. I don't know what I don't like about it, but I just don't. I hate it. I don't want that. The life was unfair no matter how you look at it. Such a life is wrong. She only wished for others. She did not wish anything for herself in return. She worked so hard, but nobody knew about it. That pisses me off. It's just too unfair to her. That's right. If she worked harder than anybody else, she should be rewarded the most. She has to be rewarded for all the things she's done. But what can be done now? Can I just tell her that she did a good job? Praise her that she was great? Of course not. Such easy words won't fix anything. I know. There's only one answer. That's right. If she's to be rewarded, her life must be repaid. The girl called Artoria has to become happy in proportion to how much she has fought. But what can I do? My train of thought stops there. I don't know how to make people happy. That makes me realize my own distortions. I've been living trying to be a superhero, but all I've been doing is lending people a hand. I believed everybody around me would be happy if I helped others like that. No. I couldn't move forward with pride unless I believed that. Helping someone and saving someone are essentially different. I can't think of a way to reward Saber because I don't know the difference between the two. I need water. The breakfast table is the same as always. Saber and Tosaka must be adaptable, as they already seem to be used to Ilya's presence. So, what are you gonna do now, Shiro? There are 3 masters left. It's not like the Holy Grail War can go on forever, so you should start acting. And it's pretty pitiful to always give the others the initiative. Tosaka is right. My body is fine, and Saber is healed. Yesterday should be the last day of rest. You're right, but even if we are to act, it'll be an evening. We'll do the same thing as always while the sun's up. Seriously? Well, I guess it doesn't do any good to walk around randomly when you don't know anything about your opponents. When you're going to get beaten up by then you're going to go get beaten up by Saber again? Training with Saber. That's the usual task, and it's natural for a master to prepare for battle. Rin, we are training. That comment sounded unpleasant. Well, yeah. I'll get beaten up by Saber in the morning. Shiro, you put me in a difficult position if you say that as well. Huh? Sorry, Saber, I wasn't listening. I'm speaking of how rudely Rin talks. Honestly, what is going on, Shiro? You don't seem well today. Breakfast is a bit smaller than usual as well. Were you in the shed until late last night? She asks, but Saber's words aren't criticizing. I can feel that Saber believes in me. That's why it's even harder to look at her now. If I do, the image of that hill pops into my head. Huh? Fine. I shall drive some energy into you later. So we will train in the dojo today as well. Is that the plan, Shiro? Yeah, please. How about you, Ilya? Me? I'll do the same as yesterday. I don't like getting wet in the rain, so I don't want to go outside. I see. That's a big help. I want you to stay in the house as much as possible. Going outside is too dangerous. Yeah, I'll consider staying with you if you cook boxed lunches like you did yesterday. It seems Ilya liked the boxed lunch yesterday. I'm a bit embarrassed that she's content with such a thing, but I'm happy if she's happy. So I guess it'll be the same as yesterday? I have something to research, so I'll be in my room. Come by my room in the afternoon since I need to talk with you. Research? That read was weird. Yep, but I think you've realized, but Ryoto Temple has been strange since yesterday. I mean, we've literally already fought a servant there. They stopped the magical energy collection they've been working on. Oh, that's what you mean. Never mind, Rin, pop off. So it's only natural to assume they're doing something. Well, it seems the master at the Ryoto Temple is the most troublesome one. So I'll make it familiar and try to find out what's going on inside. Then should you not concentrate on the search? I do not think it is a need to take time off to teach Shiro. Well, that's just how it is. Sorry, but bear with me. He seems unreliable, so I can't just leave him alone. It's fine if he gets killed by the enemy, but if he dies because he messes up his magic, I'll be ashamed as his teacher. Yes, it's just as you say, Rin. There was something wrong with me. I do not know why I should have thought your lessons were not useful for Shiro. The reason's pretty simple, but it's best not to talk about it. Then, good luck with your morning training. He's pretty tough, so it's best to beat him within an inch of his life. Tosaka leaves the living room with an absurd comment. Saber, don't take her too seriously. She's only saying that because you've never beaten her up. A reminder just in case. I don't know why Saber's so happy, but... Yes, I know. I know your body better than her. Oh, that sounds dirty. She replies like that. All right. That's going to be the end of this episode. There were some recording troubles at the beginning, so I don't actually know how long I've been recording. But I think it's around the normal time, so I'm going to end it there. Gosh, are we actually about to, like, maybe within the next, like, 1 or 2 episodes, we're gonna go fight Caster? Oh, I mean, our assassin? You guys didn't hear any of that if you haven't seen it before, it's fine. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, Darkman here, welcome back to more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, we had some more dreams about Artoria's past and how generally just sad everything was for her. Yeah, with that being said, let's just jump into it. What is wrong? Are you not going to eat, Ilyasfeel? You've not eaten a third of what you ate yesterday. No, I just can't eat this. I can't eat spicy food. I do not think that it is that spicy. Oh, she's like a white person. Well, I mean, you know, close enough. This spice is very good with this chicken. I don't like mustard. It's mustard that's hot and spicy? I don't like mustard. Ugh. I don't like mustard. Just eat it for me. I'll eat your strawberries instead. What are you doing, Ilyasfeel? Hey, return that. You cannot have that. You may have the apple pie if you want something sweet. Sitting next to each other, the two of them are fighting like close sisters. It's past noon. We three are eating lunch together like yesterday. Oh yeah, the lunch isn't the only thing that's the same as yesterday. The training before this was exactly like yesterday's. No, it was more awkward today. I don't know how to put it, but my heart starts beating hard when I see Saber, and I can't attack her seriously now. Saber is also acting strangely, as she never used to overlook such openings, but now she waits for me to attack. and for a while we just stared at each other. What's wrong? It's boring if you don't do anything. I renewed my spirits with that and attacked Saber, but the results were the same. After repelling my half-assed attack, she would not counter and let me go. As I wasn't attacked, I would face Saber again and charge again, but she would overlook me again. This strange time ended about 10 minutes ago. At Saber's request, we entered the lunch break, and we're eating lunch now. The menu is the same as yesterday, sandwich. But I couldn't just make the same thing as yesterday, so I elaborated on the ingredients, and it seemed they really liked it. Ilya's in high spirits, and Saber caught her breath, faced with the multicolored sandwiches. I'm just guessing, but I think Saber must have been getting ready. Anyways, it's much louder today than yesterday. It's raining outside and the floor is cold wood. But I think this feels like a picnic. Jeez, that is enough, Ilya. Your clothes will get dirty like that. That happens because you try to eat in one bite like Shiro. Your mouth is small, so you should eat more slowly. You're the one who doesn't understand. It's even more impolite to worry about manners at a lunch like this. This is a picnic, so acting like this is correct. So acting like this is correct, right, Shiro? Ilya munches on the sandwich happily. Saber wipes Ilya's mouth. That tickles, Saber! It's a bit surprising. It's not just Saber, as Ilya trusts Saber more than she did yesterday. I am surprised you not reject me, Ilya. Why? I like being treated kindly. Yeah, if anyone else touches me, I'll kill them. But I'll forgive you since you're pretty. And you're someone to eat lunch with. If you like me, I like you too. Ilya says so simply. Saber looks at Ilya dumbfounded. Ilya's smile was a surprise attack even for me, who was watching from the side. What? This isn't fun for you, Saber? Well... I'm having fun. It's raining outside. This place is too simple, and I have none of the things I wanted. But being here is fun. It's much warmer than being alone, right? But you're not having fun? She must have felt something in Ilya's smile. Saber lets out a deep breath and stares at the white girl. You are right. Being like this is fun for me as well. A clear voice. She smiles in a way I've never seen before. My heart feels warm for some reason. That smile was good. That smile was for herself. Not a smile from watching over someone's safety, but a smile because she is happier herself. Shiro, why are you making that face? Did something good happen? Huh? No, it's nothing. Wait, was I making a strange face? Yeah, you were. It was like a fatherly face, like you're watching over us from afar. I don't like faces like that. I don't understand what she's talking about, but does that mean I was smiling? I see. Well, something good happened, so maybe I was grinning. Something good? Yeah, I like the kind of smile you just made. I was just glad I got to see it. I do not understand. You like such a thing? Yeah, it seems I like seeing that kind of expression on you. That's a weird way to put it. Saber nods, still not understanding. Then, she must have realized something as she smiles and raises her head. That's not a smile. I see. Then it is the other way around. What do you mean? I am happier if you are smiling. It is enough for me if you can keep smiling. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, it hurts. I can't look directly at Saber. I bet anyone would overheat if they were smiled at like that. Somehow I calm myself down and sneak a peek at Saber. Saber has returned to eating with a calm face. There's no unease in her expression. There's nothing to worry about, but something is nagging at the back of my head. I am happier if you are smiling. Yes, with that smile, I saw for the first time. She was saying something entirely contradictory. I listened to the rain in Tosaka's room. Today we performed a fake physical examination like yesterday. I just took the medicine Tosaka prepared for me and checked the magic circuit throughout my body. I guess it really is impossible to do any more here, since it'll require a more appropriate environment. I don't care about that, but I don't want to just sit here doing nothing. She told me not to move for a while to see the results, but I bet I can still talk. Tosaka, may I? I call out to her while still meditating. Hmm? Fine, what is it? It's about Saber. I don't know how I should put this, but... Saying that, I realize I haven't thought this through at all. It's not even what can I do for Saber. I haven't even thought about what I want to do with Saber. Well, I was just wondering what she wants to do. Come to think of it, she never did anything because she wanted to, right? So... You don't know what Saber's thinking about. No, that's not it. I just don't understand why she's so unselfish. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Well, you're right. The only thing she's done voluntarily is protecting you. It's only natural for a servant to do that, but it's hard to understand when it's so thorough. But that doesn't mean she's totally unselfish, because Saber is protecting you for her own objectives. Oh. That's right, I forgot about the reason she became a servant. I see. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail, so it's not like she has no objective. That Holy Grail will grant her the wishes of its possessor. So Saber at least has the wish she wants granted. I don't know what it is, but it's a wish she wants granted, even if it means becoming a servant. Surely the wish must be to save herself. Yeah, for example, she's here in this time so she can stay here and live a second life with the power of the Holy Grail. No, rather she has to go that far to make up for her sad end. Oh, then this is all so easy. You're weird, suddenly getting all energetic. Was the conversation that exciting? Yeah, it gave me energy. Yeah, she wouldn't fight so hard unless it was for that. Saber has to fight for her own wishes. I nod to myself. Tosaka must have been shocked by my reaction. Emiya, I'm sorry to interrupt while you're so happy, but you're wrong. Saber wouldn't fight for herself. You know that too, right? Saber isn't like that. She doesn't seek the Holy Grail for her own benefit. What are you basing that on? I can't finish. That's right. Her last moment was a lonely one because she had no wishes for herself. So Saber cannot be seeking her own salvation. But still, I wanted to think that, so I distracted her personality for a moment. So I distorted her personality for a moment. The conversation stops, as soon as I start to think that the heavy silence will continue. It's boring, but Archer said the same thing as you. Huh? Archer? You mean that Archer? Yeah, I asked him what his wish was too. What do you think he said? It's no good asking me that. I don't know anything about him. As Archer said that we'd eventually be enemies, he made no effort to talk to me or Saber. But still, he was sarcastic a lot, but I know he wouldn't have a stupid objective. You'll laugh when you hear this. When I asked him what he wished for, what his wish was, he said this. How about world peace? I just burst out laughing. Then he got timid and said, I knew you would laugh. Well, there is no meaning in salvation but the deeds of others. Let's just call this a funny story. I just thought he became a heroic spirit and got summoned by someone like me because that's the way he is. I see. He didn't look like it, but he was a fine knight. But don't get me wrong, if the Holy Grail will truly grant any wish, permanent world peace is the worst wish ever. It means there's nothing, right? A world without conflict is dead. Things aren't moving, all they do is rot. Did you say that to Archer as well? I did, and he said, that is how the wise think. I felt the same way, but I am still chasing a foolish dream. Well, I asked him if he had any other wishes, and he said something like, I do, but it is not a wish to use a Holy Grail on. I shall let you grant your wish in my place. He was so snobbish, right? I bet he was a skirt chaser when he was alive. I didn't get that impression of him. So what about it? Nothing. I just meant that there are all different kinds of servants. Oh, I see. Well, I think it's a good reference. So it did help me out a bit. Well then, now it's my turn. I'm going to talk about Saber as well, though. Oh, yeah? You were saying this morning that you wanted to talk to me about something. Yeah, it's nothing big, but I'm just wondering about it. Do you know the legend of King Arthur? The legend of King Arthur. I've had it forced upon me more than enough in the past few days. I know what most people do. Well, I didn't know that King Arthur was actually a girl. Yeah, but sex doesn't matter here. Even if King Arthur was a girl, it makes no difference to the legend. If King Arthur hid that fact from everyone around her, she would be treated as a man, even if she wasn't one. Fortunately, King Arthur had a magus called Merlin. He was a crossbreed with an incubus, so it must have been a piece of cake for him to disguise King Arthur's sex, or to arrange for a child that should never have been born. Haha, penis wizard. I bet so. What concerns me is the discrepancy between the legend and Saber. Emiya, do you remember what Excalibur is? Why ask now? Excalibur is the symbol of King Arthur. It's a great sword, a gift from the fairies that can cut through anything. That's what I thought. For some reason, Tosaka acts like she's won. Did I say something strange? You did, and that means you made the same mistake as King Arthur. If Merlin was here, he'd yell at you for being foolish. Why? The sword in the stone wasn't Excalibur, right? That sword broke. He later received a sword from the Lady in the Lake, and that was Excalibur, right? Yep. When King Arthur received Excalibur, Merlin asked this question. Your Highness, which do you like better? The sword or the sheath? King Arthur answers without hesitation that he likes the sword, but Merlin scolds him. Please make no mistakes here. The sword slashes the enemy, but the sheath protects you. As long as you have the sheath on you, you will spill no blood and take no wounds. You should truly value the sheath, not the sword. Tosaka imitates King Arthur and Merlin skillfully. You're pretty into this. So what are you trying to say? You don't understand what it's that she doesn't have the sheath. I've told you this much. In other words, King Arthur is immortal. Excalibur is a perfect noble phantasm, both in offense and defense. So really, Saber should heal right away, even if she gets hurt. Tosaka, Saber's wounds have all been healing. That's true, but it seems like her healing comes from using a great amount of magical energy. Anyways, it doesn't seem to match the sheath of Excalibur in the legend. I see. Well, if you say so. Then I have a question. You say King Arthur is immortal. Well, then how did he die? The legend ends with King Arthur's death, right? Huh? Tosaka opens her mouth dumbfounded. After freezing for a few seconds, she grits her teeth and looks away. That's right. The sheath of Excalibur was stolen. Yeah, that's a simple mistake. I forgot about it too, but the fall of King Arthur started when he lost the sheath he should never have lost. So, are you convinced now, Tosaka? Yeah, you can laugh at me if you want. She's lying. I can tell she intends to axe kick me if I laugh. It's fine if you understand, but why are you worried about it? It should be no concern of yours whether Saber can get hurt or not. Shut up, I just lost myself thinking she'd be invincible if that was the case. Even I make mistakes once in a while. This is hard. Would it be good for her if I corrected her and pointed out that she makes mistakes often? Not just once in a while? No. I think I'm gonna end it there, just because this is a little bit on the shorter side. Usually these go, like, all these scenes usually go for, like, the perfect amount of time to be an episode. But this one got a little short, so I don't want it to go too long, just because I don't have time for these episodes to be too long without being able to record enough. So with that being said, I will see all of you lovely people in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, Darkpreneur, welcome back for more Fate Stay Night. And by the way, we are rounding up on episode 60. I do appreciate that there's been a bit of a break for just mostly character stuff between Ilya and Berserker stuff and whatever servant we fight next, which again will probably be Assassin at Ryoto Temple. But I just realized it was when I was just exporting like the last bit of audio that I was like, oh my gosh, it's been like, what, like 6 episodes since we beat Berserker and Ilya? And it doesn't seem like we have a plan for who to go after next. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's just jump, because, like, I didn't do it last time, because last time was just kind of like, again, just, you know, characters just kind of hanging out, vibing, setting up some stuff about, Artoria's sheath that she doesn't appear to have, and yeah, that kind of stuff. With that being said, let's just jump into it. By the time the sun set, the rain has stopped. Based on our conversation during breakfast, we should be going into town to search for other masters after dinner, but I have to find out before that. Saber's intentions. I need to know why she is fighting. But I can't ask her straight on. I have to try to ask her as indirectly as possible. I make up my mind and stand up. Let's go to the living room. I hope I'll be able to penetrate the fortress using the calm before dinner air as a shield. Just hypothetically, what should we do if we win the Holy Grail War? So, since I couldn't come up with any good ideas, I asked her directly. That is amazing. That is exactly what I would do in this situation as well. Like, alright, I can't ask her directly, because she probably won't answer honestly. Well, I'm out of ideas, so let's ask her directly. Huh? They all give the same response with different expressions. I'm talking about after we win. Do you need to go outside, Iris? Hey, puppy. I was just sitting here, and then suddenly I was jabbed in the side by a claw. Hey, did you need to go outside, Beboo? Okay, I will be right back. And yes, I'm leaving this in. Because I probably won't remember to take it out. Okay, Mia's back. I say as I'm still not even sitting down in my chair, but that's fine. Speaking of forgetting to take stuff out, oh, she's already she can wait a little bit. Speaking of forgetting to take stuff out, so I posted, I think it was episode 54K, and I don't get many comments, so I have them like set to like notify me whenever I do, okay? And I get a comment while I'm out with some friends, and I just look at it and it just says, "Oh my gosh, he left in an entire phone call." And I felt myself like freak out, like, oh my gosh, I got a call from my boss during that, and I tried pausing the recording, but like the pause button on OBS is just gone for some reason. I don't know why. It was there and then like it updated and now it's gone. I can't find it. So I was just saying that, like, wait, how did I remember highlighting it like to take it out. And then like I opened like the project it's like saved under in like Premiere, and I saw that I had like selected it to take it out, and I just didn't delete it for some reason, so I just left an entire phone call between me and my boss. That's pretty cool. And then I tried using YouTube's like trimming thing to like, you know, take that little part out because the video was already uploaded at that point, you know, and I was like, I already got like a couple of views before I had taken it down, so I was like, I kind of don't want it to just suddenly disappear because, like, you know, but then I didn't really know how it worked, so I did some stuff, just wanted to discard everything I had done, so I hit to discard it, and then it was processing, and I was like, alright, it's going to process, undo everything I did, then I can actually do it because I know how to do it now. It processed for a day and a half, so I said, screw this, I'm just going to re-upload it, so I did. And I want to go let my dog in now. I apologize. Anyways, we are back. I know, we've gotten so much done this episode. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, I might take out those interruptions if I remember. If I don't, I won't. I'm just gonna say that right now. Anyways, I'm talking about after we win the war. After we win. I'm saying what we should do if we win the Holy Grail War. You don't need to explain the question, but what's wrong? Why are you asking? Even though they don't nod, it seems like Saber and Ilya have the same question. I guess it was unnatural to abruptly ask, but I have to play ignorant for now. Well, it just came to mind. There are only 3 servants left, so it's not that weird to start thinking about it, right? There's not much left now, and the end is near. Well, you're right. Even you'll start thinking about it in this situation. Even though you didn't start this because you wanted to. I bet you're curious about the reward since you're risking your life. Yeah, I'm curious. Thank God Tosaka Tosaka likes to reason things out. I think one of Tosaka's good aspects is to consider anything as a possibility if it sounds reasonable. Well, just in case though. So how about you, Tosaka? What will you do if you get the Holy Grail? I ask as naturally as I can. Let's see. I only really thought about winning, so there's nothing I wanted with the Holy Grail to grant. I'll get it, but I haven't thought about anything after that. So she's fighting because she doesn't want to lose, huh? Well, I guess so, but I never really thought I'd be right. I'm stunned. You seem to be the one thinking the most, but you're actually the one who thinks the least. You're one to talk. Then what about you, Ilya? And the only reason I'm not calling it Iliasville is because I struggle to say it with the voices. I don't know. I was just told that the Holy Grail is mine, so I shouldn't give it to anyone. Since it's mine to begin with, of course, I don't care about it. Oh, so you're saying the Holy Grail War is more fun than the Holy Grail? Of course. I only came to win. I don't care who uses the Holy Grail. Are they the same? The two glare at each other silently, and there seems to be a sympathy I can't understand. Saber doesn't say anything. She must not intend to join the conversation. But no matter how much Saber hates it, I must ask her this question now. I kind of understand you two's intentions. I try to nod naturally and, then how about you, Saber? I ask Saber. Saber doesn't answer. They must have realized Saber's acting in a complicated manner as they both stare at her. If I'm counting, there must be a minute silence. I do not need to say this, but it is my duty to obtain the Holy Grail. I do not know how powerful the Holy Grail is, but as long as it is the Holy Grail, I must obtain it. And of course, I would have my wishes granted if I can grant it. If it can grant it. She said it. Without a doubt, Saber said she has her own wish. I see. Then what's your wish? I strain my pounding heart and ask calmly. Saber doesn't answer. That's fine too. If she cannot answer, chances are good that her wish is a selfish one. Considering Saber's personality, she would hesitate to speak of a selfish wish, so I prefer she kept quiet and not tell me a ridiculous wish. Such whining fills my head. Is it that hard? Grandfather said the wish of a servant is to be resurrected into this world. Those servants seek the Holy Grail to live a second life. Isn't that the case for you, Saber? I raise my head at her words. There's no problem if that's Saber's wish, but... No, I have no interest in a second life. My intentions are close to those of Reen and Iliasville. I did it. My goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. I became a servant as a price to obtain the Holy Grail. I knew that had to be it. I knew the girl who took that oath pulling the sword would not seek a second life. Hold on. You became a servant in exchange for obtaining the Holy Grail? You mean the contract when you became a heroic spirit? Yes, in exchange for becoming a servant, I seek the Holy Grail. What? Then you're not a servant summoned to obtain the Holy Grail, but you became a servant by your own will? She must be really surprised as she yells all this, then tilts her head, not believing her own words. So, Saber wasn't summoned because she was a heroic spirit, but she joined this battle willingly. But as long as you're a servant, you're respected as a heroic spirit. So you can't interfere with this world deliberately. Then you're well beyond the servant's rule. No, that's not right. Jeez, hold on. I'll work this out. No, you do not need to do so. What you said is correct. I am different from the other servants. I have yet to become a complete servant. Not a complete servant? What does that mean? No, more importantly, what does it mean to become a servant? Saber said she agreed to become a servant as a price for obtaining the Grail. Then that means... Hold on. Could it be that the servants are forced to fight as a price for obtaining something? No, that is wrong. From the very beginning, servants are special familiars that exist only for the Holy Grail War. Servant is summoning magic that uses the special characteristics of the heroic spirits. They were originally heroic spirits, so they do not have any rules like I was given bread so I have to work. Yeah, the servant system uses heroic spirits, and guardian spirits. They're using something that already exists, so there's no price for the master or the servants to pay. But I've heard that before. I've heard that before they become a servant, they need to pay a price to become a heroic spirit. Heroic spirits are guardians of the people, right? It's like they work for people, even after they die, to prevent the destruction of humanity and so on. So to become this guardian, a living hero must make a contract with something. This is the contract of the heroic spirits, a ritual to give their existence to the world after they die. The ones who obtain riches from the exchange become heroes, and after they do whatever they want as heroes and die, they become servants that pay these riches. So in other words, they go into debt to become a hero and repay the debt when they die by becoming a heroic spirit. We summon a servant by stealing the debt liability from the world. That was such... What? What? So humans become heroic spirits by contracting with something, and they're summoned as heroic spirits after they die to pay for becoming a hero. Then the conditions of the exchange that Saber made is... the Holy Grail. If Saber obtained the Holy Grail in her life, she becomes a heroic spirit after she died as a price. That's not right. Saber says her objective is to obtain the Holy Grail, but she should have already obtained it because she became a heroic spirit in exchange for the Holy Grail. No, Shiro. I have not yet obtained the Holy Grail. Artoria, King Arthur's wish was to obtain the Holy Grail while she lived. I had to obtain the Holy Grail before I died, so I agreed that I would become a heroic spirit after I died if I could obtain the Holy Grail. As Rin said, humans make a contract with the world to become a hero, receive powers beyond human, and pay for it with life after death. But I did not need the help of... Oh, this is... Artoria talking. But I did not need the help of the world to become a hero. Fortunately, King Arthur needed no support to become a hero. She didn't need support to become a hero, so Saber became a hero by her own powers. But you're here as a heroic spirit. Does that mean King Arthur requested a different exchange from the world after he became a hero? Yes. I needed the Holy Grail in my final moments. I could not stand not having the Holy Grail. A wish appeared that I needed to have granted. That is why I made the contract of the heroic spirits. That if I could tame the Holy Grail, I would wield my sword as a heroic spirit after my death. In her last moments, she wished for the Holy Grail's miracle. I understand how she feels. That bloody hill, a grave of many swords and the many corpses of knights. A lone king whose reign ended in betrayal. Her last moment was too unfair. Even if she had no wish for her own before, she must have thought that, I can't die here. I didn't want an end like this. So if she wishes to prolong her life, she shouldn't be embarrassed about it. I see. So you became able to obtain the Holy Grail by selling yourself off after death. But Saber, your condition was to obtain the Holy Grail while you were alive, right? Then... Yes. I could not complete my search for the Holy Grail while I was alive. I, King Arthur, could not obtain the Holy Grail, even at the very end. But the contract cannot be completed like that. For the world to obtain me as a servant, it must grant the Holy Grail while King Arthur was alive. So, King Arthur will not die until she obtains the Holy Grail. No, King Arthur cannot die. Then you're... Yes, time stopped for me, King Arthur, at the moment of death. According to the timeline, I should be already dead, but I will not be able to fulfill the contract that way. King Arthur is summoned as a servant, and must die after she obtains the Holy Grail. So time itself isn't stopped, but you're stopped in time, huh? It doesn't matter how many times you repeat the fight as a servant, because the result of obtaining the Holy Grail and fulfilling your contract is determined. So, that is correct. Eventually I will obtain the Holy Grail and fulfill the contract. That is why I can be summoned into many ages before I become a heroic spirit, on the condition that my becoming a heroic spirit is already determined. Not only the Holy Grail in this town. If there is a chance to obtain the Holy Grail, I will be summoned to any battlefield. And when I eventually obtain the Holy Grail and grant my wish, my stopped time shall start moving again. King Arthur will face death and become a heroic spirit as a price for obtaining the Holy Grail. So it's like having a dream you can't wake up from, right before your death, huh? This Holy Grail War is just one of those dreams for Saber, and you'll only be able to wake up once you obtain the Grail. Rin, you said that Shiro could not turn me into a spirit form because he is inexperienced. But that is wrong. I cannot become a spirit because I have not died yet. I am handled differently, but I am still classified as a living being. It was the same in the last Holy Grail War. Saber says so as if she's apologizing. I guess because she was lying about being stuck in physical form because I was inexperienced. I don't really care about that. There's something more important that I have to ask her. Saber, what do you mean by you're not dead yet? I understand that you won't die until you obtain the Holy Grail. From the conversation, I understand that you haven't been alive since the time of King Arthur. But then, what are you right now? You're not a copy of the real body, right? No. Heroic spirits that are summoned are all like copies of the true bodies, but I have not yet reached that rank. Until I obtain the Holy Grail, I am called in the form of myself, about to die. As Rin said, King Arthur is stopped in the River of Time. I must jump forward or backwards from that position, and return to that stop point once I obtain the Holy Grail. I like that they needed to pull out a diagram for this. Arthur. Got it. I draw a diagram in my head. I see it's pretty simple once I visualize it. King Arthur is stopped at the moment before death. The flow of time doesn't care that she's stopped. It keeps flowing, and we're at the present. She jumps to each time as needed and returns to her own time after completing her duty. If she obtains the Holy Grail in one of the times she visits, her time... If she obtains the Holy Grail in one of the times she visits, her time will flow again and she will die, just like the history we know today. Then heroic spirits must exist like this. When they die, they are transferred to a place like a warehouse where time doesn't flow. And they are summoned into various ages and disappear without returning. So that must be what they mean by a heroic spirit being a copy. It's like a clone made from their DNA. The heroic spirits that has complete abilities and memories of when it was alive will appear in this world and learn many things, but it is useless. They have no way to return to the main body but merely disappear. So no matter how many times they are summoned into the same age, there will be no inconsistencies in their memories. I assume the ones that became heroic spirits will not change anymore. Even if they obtain new knowledge, the self that learns it will just disappear once their duty is complete. In that regard, Saber isn't a complete servant, because Saber returns to her own time even after she is summoned, to the self that is about to die on that bloody hill, hence why she keeps her memories, because she isn't a copy yet. Hold on. Then what? You're going to take it back to your time and use it to obtain the Holy Grail? That's altering the past. Time travel and management of parallel universes is sorcery. There's no way you'll be able to do that. But the Holy Grail allows me to do this. I made a contract that I will become a servant if I can use the Holy Grail. The price being becoming a servant, even if that means the elimination of the person called Artoria. Saber talks without much interest. But that's strange. Making a wish comes true using the Holy Grail, that's fine. But why did she say Artoria would disappear as a result? What are you talking about? Artoria will disappear when she uses the Holy Grail? Don't mess around. Saber, you're... That girl about to die quietly alone on that hill. Not going to use the Holy Grail to save yourself? What do you mean, Shiro? My only desire is to save my country from ruin. I can sense that my face is frozen. I should already have realized this, but my mind is spacing out and I feel like throwing up. Why? But still, I force my question out. Is it obvious? It is obvious. I cannot protect my country. I became king to protect the country, but I could not fulfill that duty. I thought at that time that perhaps the sword chose me by mistake. That's stupid. Why? No, I always had such doubts that I might not be the right king, but there were other heroics, there was another hero who should have been chosen. At that time, when I pulled the sword out, there must have been a suitable king who would not have been able to save the country. I could not. So if I could redo the selection of the king using the power of the Holy Grail, then what? Does she mean to say that her country would not have been destroyed if she returned to that time? I feel faint. I'm quickly surpassing mere anger. Excuse me. That Saber would seriously wish for such a thing. I guess I'm dumbfounded right now. It's only natural. Saber's wish is not for herself, and on top of that, it means her elimination. The girl in front of me exists because that holy sword was there, because a king pulled it out. Preventing that would mean that the girl in front of me would not exist. Let's say she grants her wish using the Holy Grail. The girl Artoria, never becoming king, would live out her days as a knight. But what about the Saber in front of me? If she's a heroic spirit, she would continue to be summoned to fight after her wish is granted. Since she paid the price to obtain the Holy Grail, Saber will continue to be, even if Artoria doesn't become king. Taken away from the future and from the past, and she will forever be the lonely king dying on that hill. Ridiculous. I can't allow that. There's no salvation there. Even if she did redo everything, and there really is more appropriate king and the country lasts longer as a result, and even if she is saved, that's a lie. Even if everyone around her becomes happy, the 10 years she fought can't just disappear. No, you can't do that. You can't redo things, and it's useless even to try. Shiro, don't use the Holy Grail for such a thing. You're going to obtain the Holy Grail by fighting yourself, right? So you should use it for that miracle for your own sake. As I have told you, I would be using it for myself. I, Artoria, must fulfill her duty as a king. So why don't you understand? Don't be ridiculous. You've already fulfilled more than your duty. You fought that much already. You didn't give up even when you were betrayed or feared. You didn't let go of your sword until the very end on that hill. So why? Why do you have to keep such promises even after you die? Saber is astonished. Oh. It's too late to regret what I've said. I shouldn't have admitted that I see Saber's past in my dreams. A heavy silence. There are no words to give her, nor any words to reply. I can sense that anything I say will backfire in this situation. But still, I can't just stay silent. Saber, I don't like it when people aren't rewarded for their hard work. It's meaningless that way, and it's just too unfair. I know it's a childish ideal, but I want to believe that people get happier the more they work for it. I won't lose to other masters. I'll obtain the Holy Grail for sure. So please grant your own wish. If you do, I'll actually be able to find some meaning in this stupid war. That's the conclusion I've reached. I don't know what the Holy Grail is, nor if it's right to obtain it. But if Saber will be saved, even a little, I'll be able to try with all my powers. And that's gonna be the end. Just got a cliffhanger it a little bit. Click. Because I don't know what's happening, and I am scared. So, I don't know if we're being attacked, or someone here did that, like maybe Ilya or Reen or Saber flared up some magic and it, took out the lights or something, I don't know. But yeah, this episode's already long, and I am very tired and slipping up my words already, so I am going to go to bed. With that being said, I'll see all you lovely people in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, Darpkin here, welcome back for some more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, we called Saber a big dummy, because she has dumb plans, and there's a lot of exposition that honestly I kind of stopped paying attention to, because I got pretty bored, if I'm going to be honest. They just kind of kept repeating the same ideas over and over and over to make sure you really get it. But honestly, the more it was repeated, I feel like the less I understood. So, that's pretty hype. Anyways, The loud bell rings out and the house falls into darkness. The surrounding air changes immediately. Even though the lights suddenly went off, nobody says a thing and tries to feel the surrounding. The loud ring stops and the living room is silent. But the sound of light things rubbing against each other can be heard in the distance. Was that alarm the boundary field on this house? I nod silently. This sound is the same as when Lancer intruded. Then this must be... The sounds are increasing and coming closer. A strange sound. It reminds me of bugs crawling around a light trap. This living room is the only place free of the sound. It hasn't even been a minute yet since the lights went out, but the living room is surrounded by this unknown sound. An enemy? But even for a servant, there's too many of them. I'm a Magus too, even if I'm a bad one. I can sense that many sources of magical energy surround this place. Skimming quickly, I can at least count 20. They are strangely light. I don't feel any human will. The things making the sounds are like empty puppets. Oh, so they did come. They were running away all this time, but they come out as soon as Berserker is gone. Really, this servant is a schemer. Oh, unlike the three of us who are tense, Ilya is strangely calm. You can tell, Ilya? Of course I can sense any servant. I can sense any servant. The one outside is Castor, and there are lots of other things out there too. Oh, they're just cheap golems bound by dragon teeth. Ilya says simply, and the sound stops at the same time. I take the wooden sword I keep in the living room. Tosaka and Saber seem to be waiting for me to make a move. Low-key, I think that the smartest move would probably be... Well, because I feel like if we go out with Saber, we could fall into a trap, because there are a lot of enemies, even if they are weak enemies. But if Saber goes out to take care of Castor, she 1v1 her, while Shiro, Rin, and Ilya could easily stay in this room and just keep the golems away from themselves. But if we don't go out with Saber, then she could just get overwhelmed by, I guess, Castor and all the golems. But at the same time, Rin did say that Saber could probably take on all three of the remaining servants at the same time. But at the same time, that could have easily been hyperbole. Which it probably was. What's the safer move? But at the same time, Castor could just sneak past Saber. Because, you know, it's a Castor. They got magic tricks. And then they could just come kill us, you know? Because outside of Saber, I would have to say Ilya's easily the strongest person, like, out of the three mages here, you know? Like, at least, like, in the routes I remember, every single time Rin and Ilya fight, Ilya just kind of no-diffs Rin, you know? So it's just kind of like, what is she really to do? Unless I'm misremembering. You know what, screw it, let's go out with Saber. It's clear who the enemy is. If the enemy servant is Castor, is attacking with troops, there's only one thing to do. It's no good just staying here. Saber, come with me. Tosaka, protect Ilya. What? No, I don't want to look after Rin. See, she knows the place. I don't like it either. But you said you listened to what Shiro says, so obey him politely. Rin, what's your opinion here? I don't care. I'll be more helpful than Saber. Tosaka binds Ilya's arms behind her back and puts a hand over Ilya's mouth. Ilya continues to throw out insults. I know, I'll protect Ilya. You two go and get Castor while I do so. I'm depending on you, but don't work too hard. Think more about escaping than beating the enemy. Tosaka nods back, telling me I don't even need to say it. Turning my back on Tosaka, I hurry out to the hallway leading to the porch. Saber. I know, I will protect Shiro. Nodding back to Tosaka, Saber follows me. In that moment, yo. These things look cool. I doubt my own eyes. The sword is swung down on me. An unavoidable strike attacks me, aiming for my open head. I avoided by twisting my body and parrying instantly with my wooden sword. Can't believe it myself. My body reacted as soon as my mind understood I was going to die. It attacks me a second time without hesitation. A smooth mechanical movement. Wasteless, accurate attacks. But that's all. It's just accurate and it's not refined nor scary. The attack looks foolish compared to those of Saber, and it feels like the touch of a feather compared to Berserkers. I repel the attack with my back to the wall, and in the space I retreated through. Saber's lightning strike smashes down. Shiro, are you alright? As you can see, I was scared, but I made it. Do not say you made it. You must follow me in a situation like this. Please be cautious from now on. Saber scolds me my carelessness. She's right, but I just didn't want to be following after her. Shiro, are you listening to me? Yeah, I'm listening. But what was that? There's nothing in the hallway. The strange thing that was blown away by Saber's attack has vanished like an illusion. As Iliasville said, they are warriors made by using a monster's body as a catalyst. It seems more like a golem than an automaton, but the quality is low. There should be no problem even if we are surrounded by such things. Where were they hiding? No, when did they get this far in? Those things, like bad building blocks, are gathering like with spider-like movements. And on top of that, they aren't the only presence I feel. Many more bones are surrounding this mansion. Shiro, to your side! I jump away from the wall instantly. Damn. I slash at the bones sliding up on me. After that, Saber smashes away the bones to protect my back. The bones move in with loose movements and attack all in the same way. And all attack in the same way. It's not hard to repel them. The house gets destroyed by every attack. No, and I only have a wooden sword. Even with the strengthening magic on it, it won't last too much longer. I don't want to think about it, but the number of these bone creatures might be infinite. We might continue the skirmish until we collapse. Damn. Where the hell are they coming from? I complain with my back to Saber. Not many bone creatures are coming for me. They must be coming from inside the house as well, but most of them are coming in from the yard. Saber is slashing away the ones coming in from there. Their goal is the living room. As Ilya and Tosaka are in the living room, Saber is busy dealing with the ones heading there. Why would their goal be the living room? Are they after Ilya? I mean, Ilya did say that she knew they'd be coming for her. Saber readies her sword again. Her sword isn't invisible now. Maybe there's no need to hide it now, but the golden sword is glowing to show off its true power. Hold on, Saber! Don't yell it out loud! Don't use Excalibur! I don't care if my house gets blown away! Well, I do mind, but there are other houses around here. You should know what'll happen if you use it here. I yell while parrying away bones in front of me. I will obey it if it's your order, but it is too troublesome to face such a great number of enemies. We shall be in danger if we don't sweep them all away. That's why we should be I mean, I know it's like in Shiro's character to not be, but like, unironically, if they all just fought together, Ilya could just probably sweep most of these guys. You know, Ilya and Saber, it just would wipe these guys out. Add Rin in there. Rin, Shiro, Ilya could probably handle these bone guys while, like, Saber stays nearby waiting for Castor or something. I don't know. I know, they're like familiars, right? Then we'll get the whole army if we can get to the one controlling them. Saber, you search for Castor's presence. I do not even need to search. Castor is out in the yard. It seems Castor is luring us as the presence is not concealed. I don't care. Let's fall for the temptation. We'll tire it out first if we continue like this. I do not mind. Then we shall go attack Castor? The yard is right there. If Castor is in the yard, it shouldn't be too hard to get there. But that means losing the defense. It's fine now since Saber's here, but the defense is holding the bone creatures off will go away once Saber goes out to the yard. I should... Aren't these like the same thing? Believe in Tosaka implies that they can go take care of... Oh, I think he's saying only have Saber take care of Tosaka. I mean, not Tosaka, Caster. Believe in Tosaka. I believe in Rin. Rin and Ilya will be fine. The sound of glass breaking. I hear sounds of fighting in the living room. Shiro, please give me an order. There's no time to be indecisive. I know. Either way, we're making the situation worse by delaying the decision. We'll get Caster. I told Tosaka to take care of Ilya. Then let us go. Master, I will entrust you with my back. Saber runs, smashing away the swarming bone creatures. It looks like a snowy plow driving through snow. Wait, it looks like a snowplow driving through snow. I don't know why I said a snowy plow, but whatever. The bone warriors vanish without even being able to approach Saber. Are they like snowflakes? There's so many scattering bones that I feel like I'm in a snowstorm. Man, you told me I'd have her back, but there's no need to protect her like this. She more than makes me realize how great a swordsman she is. Saber charges without doubt, the foundation for all these bones. Defeat the unseen sixth servant that has invaded this mansion. Saber stops. The swarming warriors cannot be seen anymore. This must be the end as someone is standing there. A distorted figure. The figure wearing some kind of robe cannot be seen, as if only that spot is smudged in black. A black shadow. I'm assaulted by an unknown... I don't... With knowing the other routes, I don't like that specific wording of what the enemy is. Not gonna lie. I'm assaulted by an unknown unease the instant I look at it. So, you are Saber. I see. You are certainly capable of defeating Berserker. My troops would not even slow you down. The figure snickers. It seems the thing in black is the master of the bone creatures, Servant Caster. But, no master? I don't see any sign of a master near the figure. Is Caster the same as Lancer? Type to take action away from their master? You. Is your contract gone? Saber asked unpleasant. Oh, that was Saber. Yes. He was not a suitable master for me, so I made him disappear. I don't know what kind of expression the black robe is making, but Caster answers in a cold voice. Master killer? Then your master is... already dead. But there's no problem with that, Saber. We are soul eaters, correct? There is an abundance of magical energy sources. All that remains is... yes. If I obtain the Holy Grail, there will be no worries for me. So, you wish for revival into this world as well. You do not know which heroic spirit you are, but you threw away your pride for that? Oh, so you do not feel that working for humans is throwing away your pride? I just could not stand that. I do not wish to be anyone's servant, so I just became the user. You have no grounds to criticize me. I would assume so. I also have no interest in your ill acts. Saber's body inclines a little. There's only about 10 meters to Caster. Saber should be able to close in on Caster in under one breath and slash Caster away. How dangerous. I try to come and talk, but you act like there's nothing to talk about. I went easy on you, you know? I have nothing to talk to you about. Die here in grace. Saber intends to kill Caster. I won't oppose. I can only smell blood on Caster. Bet what Caster said about killing her master is true. This raid was also intended to kill everyone here. So there's no reason to stop Saber. First of all, Caster won't even be a match for Saber. I can sense Caster's ability. Caster is the weakest when it comes to one-on-one combat. In this situation, Caster can do nothing but fall to Saber. Don't do it, Saber. But I can't shake off this strange unease. This isn't like the hopeless premonition of death like with Berserker. It must be psychological hatred, or alarm against something bad. My left hand throbs as it tells me that Saber shouldn't go near that thing. I hesitated too long. Saber jumps and sprints to the black shadow. The distorted shadow smiles. Caster doesn't seem to be panicking about the approaching Saber. Caster says something in a language I can't hear, and casts something that appeals to the brain more than words. The world distorts in that instant. No, the density of the air changes only around Saber. What? A huge impact. The ground sinks and it seems like something large came crashing down onto Saber. No way. Casting magic without any actions? No, there was a murmur like a spell. Spells can indeed be shortened. The easier the magic, the shorter one can reduce the spell to change the self. but what's occurring before me is a great magic. No Magus can express that in one word. Even if it is possible, they'd have to prepare a catalyst beforehand like Tosaka does. But still, Caster executed great magic with just one murmur. Caster isn't just on a different level. If that was Caster's magic, that figure is no mere Magus. Saber! Saber is frozen on the spot. Her leg froze as if kicked off the ground. She is bounded in space right now. No. The air surrounding her has transformed into something like a clear gelatin. Even if I tried to approach her, I'm pushed away by an invisible soft membrane. It seems that this is only around Saber, but as long as her feet are not on the ground, Saber cannot move. I guess you took me too lightly, Saber. I did not know how good the Magi in your age were, but I have lived in the age of gods. My magic must look like sorcery for Magi in this time. A laugh comes from the black robe. Saber is still bound in space. I see. So this is really all you are capable of, Caster. She spits those words out. Yeah, I was about to say, she should have, like, they constantly talk about how, like, ridiculous her magic resistance is. So I was actually just, like, sitting there, because I don't remember if they talked about it in this route, actually. But I was, like, legitimately just, like, sitting there thinking, like, is her magic resistance gonna kick in? Are they not gonna talk about it? I don't remember if they have already. So, good to know I was right on the money. Excuse me. Magic resistance. Repels even my magic? The black robe retreats. After canceling Caster's magic in an instant, Saber dashes with lightning speed. But I... No! There are too many choices. Click, click, click. I don't know why I was saying click. Don't confuse that. I'm gonna try and record, like, all of this in, like, one sitting. But just, like, I'm just gonna say, like, hey, stop. And then I'm gonna, like, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Ignore everything I just said. But I'm actually gonna end the episode here, and we'll make the decision in the next episode, because I don't know what to do, because she literally just shook off Caster's attack, but at the same time, Caster could just be playing us, like, oh, that was my full power, how could you shake that off, winky face? Well, I don't know, so we'll see in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, we are back with some more Fate Stay Night. In the last one, Caster invaded us. We got a weird sense that we shouldn't attack Caster, but Saber did anyways. Got trapped in some magic, and then completely just resisted all of her magic. We still have that bad feeling, so I don't know what to do. But honestly, that timing, she got it. I believe in Saber. Don't be timid. We're cornering Caster. If we pull back, we might give Caster a chance to turn things around. Oh, wait. Never mind. Saber's sword moves quickly. She is already right in front of Caster, and Caster will be slashed in an instant. But Saber suddenly stops. Not because of Caster's counterattack, but by her own choice. You. Saber instantly tries to dodge. But she's too late. Saber totters as if grabbed by something. And in that instant... What?! A warped dagger stabs Saber in the chest. Caster. That is... Yes, this is my noble phantasm, Saber. It's the weakest weapon that cannot kill even one human, nor create anything. But it is an indulgence from the age of gods that has forgiven anything for one purpose. Shiro. Run. Oh, so that was a bad choice. Saber falls to her knees, even though she has taken no wounds. Saber! Before I can ponder this mystery, the last command spell disappears from my left hand. All is according to plan, boy. Now, if I collect the Magus and the vessel inside, my victory will be assured. Caster's arm rises. A wave of air performed with no action hits me. I can't stand up. My legs are twisted like a jellyfish from the blow and won't move. I think it's about time. Stand up, Saber. Even if the gods punish you, I will forgive you. A snicker. Saber stands up and slowly walks to me with steps like those bone creatures and... swings her sword down, with eyes like she's having a nightmare. Beautiful, Saber. Now you're the same as me. You bear the crime of killing your master. Yes, the same criminals. Let us condemn this world to its death. Castor's laughter tears my ears apart. My brain dies with questions still answered. Oh, that was a fast, bad end. A night like red jelly. Only the figure of Saber looking down at me with tears in her eyes. Dead end. Tiger Dojo is a strange hint corner. Yes! Just because we haven't done one of these in a while. Alright, it seems the enemy is gone now. I have a bite mark on my head now. Well, let's pull ourselves together. Let's start with the rescue corner. That saves Shiro, who has fallen into a pit just by getting sidetracked. The Tiger Dojo. Alright, but Taiga, this dead end isn't too much different from the last one. Saber goes berserk and kills Shiro in this end too, right? Yeah, but this one is a bit different, as you could have prevented this with a little more work on Shiro's side. I don't think it's all Saber's fault. I mean, to be fair, she's like a master swordsman who got stabbed by a caster. I mean, Saber probably could have just, like, not let herself get hit. I don't know. Oh, Saber isn't here. Nope. Seems she doesn't get depressed if the fault isn't all hers. So, we're able to hold the Tiger Dojo with no worries this time. Yeah, but there's nothing much to say this time. There won't be any more tricky choices like this. The story is nearing its climax. You have to get it together or you won't be able to get to the real ending. There will only be one more enemy after defeating Castor. Wait, what? Get your act together and win. There will be a chance after a crisis. You should fight without letting your guard down. Well done. We'll be waiting in the next time. In the next Tiger Dojo. Whatever, who cares. Alright, see you, Shiro. Neat, so it's literally just pick the other choice. Wait, did I not oh, here it is. It's hard to see it, like, on the white. Don't do it, Saber! Saber raises her sword. She's already within striking distance. No, don't do it, Saber! But I run to Saber as if driven by the pulse of my heart. What? Saber suddenly stops. It's not that Castor did something. Saber's felt something from Castor and stopped herself. You. Saber instantly tries to dodge it, but Castor must have hidden something in the ground, as hands of bone burst out from the ground and grasp Saber's feet. I was not expecting you to have instinctive foresight, but this is it, Saber. Hang on. A blade emerges from Castor's... Wait. I was not expecting you to have instinctive foresight, but this is it, Saber. A blade emerges from Castor's black robe. That really wasn't Castor's voice, but whatever. It's a weirdly shaped dagger. It's thin and brittle, a blade not suitable for killing. But Saber detests this blade, and Castor swings it as if that's her chance for victory. Saber must be surprised, getting her feet grabbed from the ground. She does not even repel the dagger, and takes it in astonishment. Wait, do we lose either? Oh. What? I can hear Castor's voice behind me. I can't see what the robe's expression is like. All I could do was stand in front of Saber and take the blade in her place. But it wasn't a good job. I didn't have enough confidence to block Castor's dagger straight on, so I figured I would be more certain if I covered Saber, and I held her in my arms as if to hide her. As a result, Castor's dagger wrenched open my back. I didn't mean to. I stopped myself from crying because of the pain and strengthened my grip on Saber. Shiro? I can't tell what words are being said beside my ear. Get away, Saber. Go back. Before I can tell her to jump away, Saber must have understood. My body moves. Saber jumps back as if to shake off the hands coming from the ground, and I'm carried with her. Shiro, your wound! Saber's voice is urgent. Even though she laid me on the ground softly, the pain in my back just increases. It's like having my back cut with scissors, then having lead driven into it. From this pain, it feels like a cell phone is being pushed into the wound. That's oddly specific. Shiro, please hold on. Shiro! I guess she's not panicking, but the loud voice, rare for Saber, makes me rather calm. Hey, I can hear you, even if you don't shout. This just hurts, so it's nothing. Take care of Castor instead. Nodding my head, I point out where Castor should be. Yes, I will finish things right away. Please hold on for a little while. Saber faces Castor once again. So, that is your noble phantasm, Castor. Saber's voice sounds threatening. The dark shadow clutches her tongue in irritation and raises the warped dagger in her hand. Yes, it is blunt as you can see, and it cannot even kill one person. But as you have sensed, it is a magical mark said to be almighty in one aspect. If you do not wish to touch it, I suggest that you do not come near me, Saber. Even though she says so, I can sense less composure in Castor than before. Even as powerful as Castor is, as long as she uses magic, she won't be able to hurt Saber. No matter what kind of noble phantasm that dagger is, it won't do any good against Saber now. Don't mind it, Saber. Her secret is revealed. You should be able to beat her without a problem now. I order her, gritting my teeth. Oh, is that fine, Saber? You can certainly corner me, Saber. But who will protect that man while you do so? I do not think I need to say this, or you are the only one that is immune to my magic. Can you not guess what I will do to that boy if I am cornered? You, Saber says from the bottom of her lungs. The sound of the bones increases. They surround us. Damn. I made a mistake. Even if I could save Saber, it's pointless if I'm hurt like this. I'll only be a burden like this. If it was just Saber, Castor wouldn't even be a match for her. So, you said you came here to talk, Castor. Saber. Please, do not say anything, Master. This is the right choice for now. I mean, hey, if we can, like, stall and just let Shiro get healed back up, I mean, this would be so much easier. Saber lowers her sword. I think I hear Castor laugh amidst the surrounding sounds of bones. I shall listen to you, Castor. I might let you go depending on your conditions. Are you sane? I hold your lives in my hands. You act so boldly, I might just crush you. Do not get me wrong. All you have is my master's life, not mine. But if you assault that, I will not hold back. If you are to kill my master, I'll be sure to defeat you with everything I have before I disappear. The air freezes. Even the bones around Castor's are cowed by Saber's words. Fine, I will not do anything to that boy. My target was you to begin with. There is nothing wrong with releasing a master or two. I was your target to begin with? Right. There is no reason to ignore a hero that can even defeat Berserker. The only remaining servants are me, you, and Lancer. If you become— wait, what happened to Assassin? If you become my ally, Lancer is nothing. 3 are left? Then Assassin is already defeated. Who knows? He is not here anymore, so I assume he was defeated. It is only natural for a servant who cannot protect their master to disappear. Assassin was beaten? The master at Ryoto Temple is no more. I didn't even know his identity. That means another master has disappeared. The only remaining servants are Saber, Castor, and Lancer, who has not shown himself since that first night. This is only useless talk I will engage in. All I want is your noble phantasm. Give me your sword if you do not want your master killed. That is useless. I am the only one able to use this sword. A heroic spirit must surely know that only the possessor of a noble phantasm may use it. And I feel like especially in Saber's case, very specifically, like, it can quite literally only be used by the person who pulled it, right? Oh, you are right. Then in that case, I will just have to obtain you as well. However superior the knight, I can persuade it to be on my side. And more than anything, I like you. It'd be fun to control you. Castor sounds really delighted. My lacerated consciousness boils up. I kick the pain on my back aside and get up. Don't be ridiculous. I can't let Saber fall under Castor's control. Just because of me. I decided to protect Saber, so I can't stay down with this kind of wound. I take the wooden sword in my hand and swing at the bone creature surrounding me. No, Shiro! Saber's voice sounds urgent. Oh, if you want to commit suicide, I won't stop you. Castor sounds delighted. The sound of many bones hitting against each other, as if to nullify all of those sounds. Oh? All the bone creatures are swept away instantly by a heavy rain of arrows? What? I stand there dumbfounded. The arrows that showered down like heavy rain disappeared as if they were an illusion. But it cannot be an illusion. The swarming bone creatures do not exist anymore. Who is it? Castor looks up. Saber must have already noticed this guy. Saber is looking at the thing on top of the wall with surprise. Yo, it's my boy! What the what? What? Hang on. What is happening? Hang on. What? Dude. He's just... What is he doing here? Why is he here? Oh, gosh. Never mind. I'll talk... Again, I don't want to spoil this for anybody who potentially hasn't done any Fate stuff at all. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. There's something unexpected there. The man with his back to the moon is golden. The man clad in gold is looking down at the yard with a cruel smile. Who? She must have instinctively realized that he has destroyed her troops as Castor raises her voice. The man doesn't answer. No, he hasn't even taken notice of Castor. He is only looking at one person, the silver knight beside me. Answer! I am asking who you are! Castor's voice sounds emotional. And with that, the man finally looks at Castor. Castor gasps at those red eyes. The man's stare is so cold. That thing isn't treating Castor as a human. Even I can tell from here. It's only natural for Castor, the target of that stare, to be terrified by that pressure. Why are you getting in my way? She asks in a trembling voice. She must know she'll be swallowed if she doesn't do so. But I have no reason to name myself to a lowlife. Get out of my sight, you fool. The man answers with a verdict of death. A snap. When I realize the sound of his finger snapping, the tragedy has already begun. Many weapons suddenly appear in space and shoot at Castor like a machine gun. Castor raises her arm. Concept of a shield. A film like glass is created right above Castor. It probably has strength equaling Berserker's body. But was it useless because it was made of glass? My entire house is rumbling because I live right next to a construction that's been going on for over a month. Very fun. But was it useless just because it was made of glass? Built like a crystal, it cannot even block one of the showering weapons and shatters into pieces. A dumbfounded voice. Without showing any concern for Castor's question, they pierce the black robe. There's no mercy at all. The robe is pierced by lances. As the robe is blown away, mere lance pierce it. What? A sword into her falling body, an arrow into the arm falling to the ground, an axe into the pained head. Each becomes a deadly guillotine. Survival is impossible. Castor's completely cut apart and dismantled, and she now looks like a mountain of red meat. Wind blows. The black robe who lost his master floats away. Floating away. The shredded robe still barely keeps its form. Now, it is all that remains of what used to be Castor. I can't say anything. My strained mind just watches the black robe floating miserably in the wind. In that instant... Oh, I thought that was going to be Shiro. How insolent! I told you to get out of my sight. You should only be polite to kill yourself quickly. The golden man roars in a voice full of contempt. I love it when I read a line, and then it immediately tells me how that line should have been read, and I'm like, I didn't do that at all. It's not an illusion. The black robe twists like a wave, grows black wings, and tries to fly away. But it's too late. I don't know what the man did. It's just that a crack ran through the night sky. The dislocation in the sky swallows the black robe. It reminds me of someone getting run over by a steamroller. The black robe falls. Underneath it is Castor, unscathed. There. Shiz. Okay. I'm just sitting here, what should I do as a thumbnail? Because either of them are huge spoilers. Like, I know, like, technically they're all kind of spoilers. Like, oh, here's Berserker versus, like, Saber, something like that. But at the same time, that's something that we knew was going to happen in the previous episode, so it's technically not that much of a spoiler. But if I just show, like, either, you know, this guy being here, that's a huge spoiler. Like, you were just fighting Castor in the last episode, and now he's here? I didn't know that was going to happen. Or just showing Castor dying, it's like, oh, so Castor dies in this episode. Neat. Whereas I don't feel like I've ever spoiled anything like that. Like, I think the closest is when, like, Shiro projected the sword and he and Saber used it together, but even then I feel like that's vague. But like this, you look at this and you're like, that's not something Shiro or Saber could do, so someone else must appear and kill her. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I need to use one of them because they're both pretty cool images. The black robe falls underneath this Castor unscathed. Storm of swords shower onto her. The screams echoes through the night. The swords multiply in response to the scream, and the scream gets louder in turn. It hurts. Take it out. It hurts. Take it out, please. Castor must have regenerative powers like Saber. She cannot die even when swords are stabbed into her, so her figure is just too miserable. The rain doesn't stop. The weapons each differ in shape, and none of them are the same. I don't want to admit it, but each one of those weapons is equal to the noble phantasms of the servants. No, this cannot be such a ridiculous number. The merciless rain of noble phantasms. Castor struggling under it just... Dying. I'm going to die. Die in such a ridiculous fashion. No, this is too funny. No, this is not true. And that ends it. With a black mist hiding Castor, the servant disappears. The infinite cycle of torture that I thought would last forever lasted only about 10 seconds in reality. Through it all, Saber stares at the Golden Knight standing on top of the wall. It is a great... It is a great sin for a mere Magus to even speak of capturing the King of Knights. It is rightly mine as I am the king. Such a skewering befits a fool pursuing the king's treasure. And I think I'm going to end the episode there. Bye-bye. Hey there guys, we are back for more Fate/stay night. In the last one, this golden hunk of man meat showed up and just destroyed Castor in like an instant. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really wanted to like just get on to this new episode, so I just ended as quick as I could, and I was like, alright, now it's time to start recording again. So anyway, let's just jump into it. So, long time no see, Saber. Do you remember the decision I made? The man says in an intimate manner. Saber doesn't answer, but her glare is different from before. Why that face? Are you still not ready? It has been 10 years. That should be enough time to decide. Oh well. That's only for me. It must be like yesterday for you. Jeez, what a silly woman, making a man wait. The man laughs happily. My chest is hurting. Partly from seeing that tragedy, but more than that, I feel sick when that man looks down on Saber with such a ridiculous expression. So, there are more lowlifes left. Commenting unhappily, the man turns to the mansion. There, on the porch in In front of the living room are Ilya and Tosaka. What is that? Ilya is looking up at the man as if she's seen a ghost. Straining her eyes, she shakes her head, saying that it's impossible. No. Who are you? Fool, you cannot tell? I am one of the heroic spirits you know so well. Liar! Ilya jumps off the porch and glares at the man. I don't know. I don't know you. A servant I don't know about shouldn't exist. What? Hold on, Ilya! I call to restrain her. My call to restrain her comes too late. The cluster of magical energy Ilya releases shoots straight for the man. A clanging sound. The man didn't do anything. A mirror-like shield appears in front of him and reflected Ilya's magical energy shot. As she fired magical energy in anger, there's no way she can react to it. Ilya stands there dumbfounded before the magical energy she fired. Oh! Oh! Good job, good job! That hurts! She's barely saved by Tosaka, who instantly blocked it. I see. It is a strange hybrid this time. I assume they have schemed a bit, so as to not make the same mistakes as last time. The man looks at Ilya, a cold stare like the one directed at Saber, a stare prizing a possession. No, 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 no! I hate you. Ilya still glares at the man pinned by Tosaka. Wait. Pinned by Tosaka. I do not care about your circumstances. Open it quickly. You are the fifth one. The man speaks plainly. What kind of effect does it have? No. Ilya shakes violently and faints. That's it. That's all that'll happen. All Tosaka can do is look up at that man. We both understand. He isn't looking at us. We would just share Castor's fate if we raised our voices. Saber is different. She is staring at the Gold Knight in a different kind of silence. Let me ask you one thing. Why are you still in this world, Archer? Saber tries to control her voice. Tosaka and I can only be shocked by her words. There need be no reason. The Holy Grail is mine. What is wrong with coming to collect what is mine? How foolish. You are not a hero at all. No, first of all. Stop. If you say any more, we will have to fight. Well, that was my original intention, but I lost interest. This place is too shabby to celebrate our reunion. Saying so, the man turns away. He turns his back as if saying he has no interest in us. We shall meet again sometime. My decision has not changed since that time. Be prepared by the time of our next meeting. The man disappears. With that, the tension in the air vanishes, and the yard returns to its usual silence. But that's the only thing that returned. My home is ruined, and Ilya is unconscious. Saber, keeping her back to us, still bears that heavy silence. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? I lay on a futon in the living room, I lay a futon down in the living room and place Ilya on it. Even though she's unconscious, Ilya's face looks calm and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her. Hey, don't look away. The bandage will slide off. She hits my back. Why the back? Ow, Tosaka, that's no way to treat a wounded guy. Shut up. I'm treating your wound, so be quiet for a while. Here, raise your right hand. I don't think it's necessary, but I'll put some medicine on it as well. It's cold. It's fine if you can feel. Here, we'll wrap this up next. She skillfully wraps the bandage around my right shoulder. It's past 10. After returning to the living room, Tosaka started to treat my wounds. She started, but the wounds have mostly already healed, so all that's left is to treat them just for show. Done. You sure have a strange body. Only vampires have bodies with such healing powers. Are you really human? I think she asked me something similar a while ago. Hey, I'm a normal human being. I don't even know how this is happening, so I can't give you an answer. Don't play with me. Would a normal human be up and running after they had their spinal cord cut? I never asked because it was useful, but it's getting too freaky now. Maybe you're from some place where people can only be killed by decapitation. The worst part is, Tosaka is seriously considering that. She might come after my neck one day with an axe in hand. Hey, don't you think so too, Saber? I think you're the cause, but it's still too far beyond human. Huh? Shiro's healing power is not his own? Of course not. You think someone who only knows strengthening magic could do such high-class magic? His absurdity must come from being connected with you. I can only guess that your healing power is flowing into him. Is that so? I have never felt such a connection. If that were the case, my magical energy should be flowing to Shiro, even now. More importantly, my healing power is not as strong as Shiro. Saber, why the sudden pale face? Saber is staring into space as if she cannot hear Tosaka. No, it cannot be. Shaking her head, Saber looks away. Tosaka and I look at each other. Saber is acting strange. No, I know why. Saber's spirit has been low since that golden knight appeared. Well, let's put the matter of Shiro on hold. More importantly, Saber, did you know that gold guy? He was saying you were his. Saber doesn't answer. It's obviously something she doesn't want to talk about. But I still want to know. Tosaka's question is mine as well. Saber, tell me if you know. Who was that guy? You called him Archer. Yes, I do not wish to admit it, but I do know him. It isn't possible. There are only 7 servants. He cannot be summoned. Servants. So he is a servant. No, that's obvious. But in that case, there's a big problem. He is of class Archer. He is of class Archer, of course. He is of class Archer. Of course, he is not the Archer whom Rin made a contract with. His abilities and character are too different. I know that too. It only lasted a short while, but I was able to feel how much of a monster he was. Hold on. That's not right. If he's the servant Archer, that makes 8. 7 should be the limit of the summons in a single period. It's not like they restock when some of them disappear. After all, even the Holy Grail doesn't have the magical energy to summon more than 7. There are 7 servants because that's the basic limit, right? How can they summon an 8th? Hold on. Saber, you met him in the previous war? Yes. Rin. Yes, Rin. On the last day of the previous Holy Grail War, I fought against him in a sea of fire. My body tenses up for an instant. Saber fought him in a sea of fire? I need water. It's nothing new. Kotomine already told me the fire was caused by the Holy Grail War, so this shouldn't be a surprise. It's just, I was unconsciously trying not to think about it until now. What happened? Did you beat him? No, I did not. No, I could beat him. No, I could not beat him because You were beaten instead. He's someone you couldn't beat even when you're properly summoned. Saber hangs her head and doesn't answer. That pretty much answers her question. Saber couldn't win? Not just the imperfect Saber as she is now, but Saber with her full power. Is that even possible? If you look at her skill as a swordsman, Saber certainly is invincible. Admittedly, she was weaker against Berserker, but Saber has that noble phantasm. The noble phantasm of other servants are powerful, but Saber exceeds even them. I don't think there's any hero she can't beat using her holy sword. Then there's only one possible explanation. He's not a servant summoned in this war, but a servant that remains from the previous war. It only makes sense when that's true. My mind stops. It's not that I agree with Tosaka, but what she said matches what I've been hoping for since yesterday. But that's the only possible explanation. Only 7 servants can be summoned each Holy Grail War. If there are any other servants, they must be the winner of the previous Holy Grail War. Am I wrong? I mean, a heavy silence. But why is she in such a good mood? Tosaka, what are you so happy about? Of course I'm happy. There's a precedent. I don't know who he is, but he's the guy who won the last Holy Grail War, right? Then he must have obtained the Holy Grail, and he's staying in this world because of its blessing. In other words, he's proof that you can keep your servant in this world if you obtain the Holy Grail. I want to capture him and question him about it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know who he is, but he's a servant. He's still here after the previous war. That means that there's a way for Saber to stay in this world. Wait, I didn't mean to click, no! Then, that means there's a way for Saber to stay in this world like him. Oh. Well, we don't know who he is or what his motive is, but I'm sure he's an enemy we'll need to defeat. So, Saber, what's his true identity? I do not know. Even at the end, I could not tell who he was. That hero did not have a noble phantasm symbolic of him. He doesn't have a symbolic noble phantasm? That can't be true. A servant without a noble phantasm can't be a servant. And besides, yeah. He was using so many. It should be easy to work out his true identity with so many noble phantasms. You just need to identify the appropriate hero for them. Lamau. Then let me ask you, did you recognize any of those noble phantasms? Of course, let's see. Tosaka ponders. She thinks about it for a minute, but then she tilts her head in confusion. No way, that's impossible. What's wrong, Tosaka? What's impossible? I can't believe it. The bloody one was probably Dainsleif. The one like a sickle was Herpy. There was one that looked Chinese and another that looked like a Buddha thing. Tosaka looks crazy, talking to herself. I guess this is what you call digging yourself a hole. That one was similar to Saber Sword, but it should be different. It seems like it's from Northern Europe, judging from its simple design. And most forms of demonic swords are from Northern Europe, but... She starts to grit her teeth. Hey, Tosaka! There's no point leaving her like that. I have to stop her now or there will be some danger. I need to add that I'll be the one damaged. Tosaka, come back. Jeez, be quiet, Shiro. I'm getting confused because you're bothering me. I'm trying to disturb you. It's about his noble phantasm, right? I saw Dainsleif, Herpy, Durandal, Vahara, and Khalidbolg. Oh, and I saw Gay Bolg. I couldn't identify the Chinese one, but those are the famous ones, right? You're right. She glares at me in irritation. I'm hurt if she makes a face like that. I'm not knowledgeable, but it just popped into my head. But what does that mean? No hero has that many noble phantasms. No, more importantly, the sources are all different. I don't understand it. Yes, that is why I could not tell his true identity. He has abundance of noble phantasm, the proofs of a hero. I could not narrow down his true identity because he had so many. The two ponder. Well, there's certainly no way to tell if he has that many. It's like hiding a tree in a forest or something. Shiro, do you have anything? She glares at me. Yeah, she's definitely taking it out on me. Have what? Anything you noticed or guessed. Anything that popped into your head. What we need are unexpected opinions. Only accidents solve a deadlock situation. She might be right. I see, you're making fun of me, right? Don't be rude. I was just thinking you're useless, so do you have anything? Nothing. I give up, honestly. Tosaka groans in regret. Then there's only one answer. Saber, don't you think they're all fakes? Nothing else can explain it. I feel the same way, however... No, they're not fakes. How did they arrive at that answer? First of all, he couldn't have been able to pierce Castor with fake noble phantasms. Oh, what do you base that on, Emiya? I'm saying those are real. Rather, everything else seems fake. Huh? Well, it's just my intuition. It's hard to explain, but those are real. Lancer's Gay Bolg is real, but I think the Gay Bolg he used is real as well. God, it's hard to explain if she makes a face like that. No, forgetting that. Why did I think that? It's just that all the things he used were noble phantasms. I can feel that. Is it because I used projection against Berserker? I could tell they were real noble phantasms just by looking at them. Conception dwells in superior weapons, and something is missing from weapons that merely imitate them in shape. I realized that when I imitated Saber's sword. With that argument, I think that all the noble phantasms he used were perfect. Well, putting what Shiro said aside, as we don't know his true identity, his objective is next. Tosaka sneaks a glance at Saber. Well, we already know he's after the Holy Grail, but there's one other point I'm curious about. Can I ask you directly, Saber? Man, why does she put on that really evil smile when it comes to this kind of subject? What do you mean, Rin? Why do you need to hold back if you wish to ask me something? Really? Then I'll ask. What do you think of him? From the way he spoke, it seemed like he really has the hots for you. I'm not following Tosaka's lead, but I sneak a glance at Saber. How could you not be following that? What, he pretty much said, yo, I want you, girl, winky face. Tosaka is saying it wrong, but it is true he was attached to Saber. No, it wasn't that nice. He saw Saber as his, and only his. I do not care what he thinks about, but I remember that he did propose marriage to me in the previous war. Naturally, I deflected with my sword. Marriage, you mean... What? What is that? What is that servant thinking? Wow, I don't know if I should be happy in this case, but you don't feel too bad about it, right? You must be happy as a woman to be proposed to even after you became a servant. That is not true. I have no such freedom to begin with. My goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. Honestly, such nonsense irritates me. Really? Even if you feel that way, he was pretty into you. His type doesn't care about how much they're rejected. You're stubborn too, so he might be a good match for you. I don't know what's so funny, but Tosaka's words are irresponsible. Tosaka seems to be happy. Seems to be happy to be talking to Saber about this kind of thing. Saber seems to have no interest, but... I am telling you that I have no interest in such a thing. He is certainly a superior heroic spirit, but his way of thinking is too different from mine. Saber answers honestly. Oh? Did you hear that, Shiro? Saber has no interest in men. Are you relieved? Rin, I believe that is of no concern to Shiro. Your statement is a little strange. I would think so. That was a mistake on my part, but the strange part is the funny part. Tosaka laughs evilly. Her eyes seem to be laughing, but only at Saber, but at me, not only at Saber, but me as well. It irritates me for some reason, and I stand up. Huh? Where are you going, Shiro? Tea. I'm thirsty. I'll get some for everyone while I'm at it. I spit that out and go to the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm irritated, so I think I'll prepare some extra bitter tea for Tosaka. Lamau. Anyways. I think that's gonna be the end of the episode there. Freak, dude. I don't even know what happens. I knew that this was like sort of how that's gonna go, but I didn't expect it to go this way exactly, you know what I mean? So anyways, I will see everyone in the next one. Bye-bye.